life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom, la 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 la. La 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 la, around the way. Beautiful clouds, where you are, there are beautiful clouds, where you are, oh, oh.
na me from there young person be can come on some a friend relationship onipa de nanso envenenam Benjamin said mo we brebe mo wanwa say your president former president Kufo Tamwa because school at Motor School 64 na ne back of Kufo na oyemakora be henso na ne omuni say at Motor School 64 mesem ye my cubicles et genius papa weekend but we do ane ba e say we go see o senior no there And to me, we hear whether for back of the pianist. Relationship myself and make a child. Sometimes, said you only name said president, obey president of Ghana. Mrs. So, Nimi name said that she made you grapple, Nimi the one for share politics. But Essa or Dobby a better many president for Temunti. But to him, and the to me, but if you weekend. Airport, I got now, no, Bissaman, no, Profi, Opa Wine, Yaya Colapa, Uya Colapa, that's when you're a penny, and you know. Relationship here. Yama, MPC, you know, as senior. But here we are, Nimi, see a person grown Peter Padia. Yama on your donor way in Temuno, and you can see. Mr. President, I'm going to watch what I square over now. We discover Bishop Kutumu and then my chief of staff. Now, you're tossing me a muswa. Now, me and my family, young person can come myself a dear friend relationship. Onipa. Ayade, Nansu, and Veninam. Benjamin said, Mumwe Brebe Mama, say, your president, former president, before. Tamwa, Nico School, Achimota School, says for. None back of it before. Now I am a caller with Henderson. Now, the woman is Achimota School, says for my son, your my cubicles. And genius, over weekend, but we're near the bar. As all the see, who sing and know them. And to me, we hear whether they go for back of the pianist. Relationship myself and make a child. Sometimes, said you only name said president, obey president of Ghana. Mrs. So, Nimi name said that she made you grapple, Nimi the one for share politics. But Essa or Dobby a better many president for Temunti. But to him, and the to me, but if you weekend. Airport, I got now, no, Bissaman, no, Profi, Opa Wine, Yaya Colapa, Uya Colapa, that's when you're a penny, and you know. Relationship here. Yama, MPC, you know, as senior. But here we are, Nimi, see a person grown Peter Padia. Yama on your donor way in Temuno, and you can see. Mr. President, I'm going to watch what I square over now. We discover Bishop Kutumu and then my chief of staff. Now, you're tossing me a muswa. Now, me and my family, young person can come myself a dear friend relationship. Onipa.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 6th of April, 2026, and this is the day the Lord has made indeed. We're glad that we're able to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that matter to you and I as far as Ghana is concerned, and even sometimes around the world. My name is Aldo Moro, and it's always a pleasure to be back here. But as you do know, today is a holiday. Christians around the world are celebrating the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so, of course, Ghana has not been left out. Ghana is doing the same. And so Friday was a holiday here in Ghana, and also today is also a holiday here in Ghana, as has been the case from time immemorial. So the newspapers are not at a stance, and so we will be doing some online portal review in the meantime, and then we'll take a little break, a little breather, and then when we return, we have two very important guests who you would love to listen to. These are gentlemen who, well, they're great communicators basically, and then also very knowledgeable people, and so you'd enjoy listening to that one-on-one interviews that I'll be doing this morning. So let me go to my John Online this morning and say that my John Online is reporting the government welcomes Burkina Faso's move to resume tomato exports to Ghana. As GBA should have been consulted. Samakujeto questions passage of legal education bill. There's brand culture, staff drive, Ghana Commercial Bank's record 2025 profit, according to MD. Ghana secures 3.1 billion cedis in a 7-year bond auction. And there's also when the sea comes home, traditional priest watches sea swallow his 30-year-old shrine at Labadi. The City Newsroom this morning is reporting that the onion supply disruption looms as tracks are seized in Nigeria. Halt e-cargo tracking rollout now. Freight forwarders. And there's also Dambai residents raise alarm over overstretched health center. Ghana onion sellers, political interference behind truck seizures and seizures. And then also government upgrade SHS's build stadium in Savannah region, according to Mahama. There's also, it is really tough for Maine Boame's mother speaks at AI facility launch, and the 600 million tomato import undermining Ghana's economy, Chamber of Agribusiness. And then if you go to Ghana Web, there's a Kisi Ejabing started begging me even before we sat down. The man wrongly declared wanted by OSP. And there's also understanding SIGA's policy of encouraging intertrading among specific entities. High interest rates killing businesses, BOG, Governor laments. There's Ghana star Antoine Semenyo targets more trophies with Manchester City after FA Cup. There's moment camera captured Ned Nwonko in Ogun State elicits reactions. And there's Black Stars coach Otuado. Well, that's also with the Ghana Web. Now, Metro TV Online.com this morning is reporting that ex-NDC chairman Ofosu Ampofo's father dies. There's why actors beg in difficulties, Patience Ozokwo on Nollywood financial struggles. Anthony Baffa confident Thomas Partey will hit top form before 2026 World Cup. And that's there's also government moves to end tomato glut with 60-hectare irrigation plan. Government rules out first 100 best buses to ease mounting transport challenges. And as Benjamin Asari and other local players fall short of Black Stars quality, according to Nilante. Parliament still under watch. Anas Arimaya Anas clarifies. If my words were misunderstood, I apologize if Wasantua addresses marriage brouhaha with her husband. The School Business Forum and the economic rise of women entrepreneurship in Ghana. That's with Metro TV Online.com. So that's it for, sorry about that. That's it for the online portal review. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I have a special guest. You don't want to miss this.
Tanumo, Onunchoni ha or Dama, Chicheli Wekun, Yanuchumo, Osolimojiake, Ubaonani, Aya, Baba Shushui. Amen.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month.
Have you attained 45 years and older? Notice blood in your stool, a family history of cancer? Then don't wait to have a colonoscopy. Early detection of cancer and effective treatment save lives.
There are weak points in the development and spread of cancers of the large bowel that we have control over to stop, to reduce the incidence and deaths from these cancers. Achieving this success depends on you and me. We are fully prepared. What about you?
Visit Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center today or call us. Mintuba Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, in to serve a peculiar health need.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit's toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kits, happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now. Hey, is that you? Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso. Come on, Tom Preko.
Hey, Unia, new release in Yana. Kaya gum.
A bitino was me new release. Me can no access fitemu hono. And Turbotech Garages Limited. Akwafa besiesi amana aye nitia. Obiase ye car mu no.
Accident car no na. Turbotech Garages Limited. Amana se gina ne naso sa no.
Me se wo akwafa broni fita engineer efra brochiraba. And wo check cars no. Na wo hunu ba bia fault krowo. And ho spare parts so wo de hye. Afenesi road. And so ho charges kakra bi o.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Wo ye general servicing. Ebili engine over overhauling, engine tuning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BMU, upholstery, gearbox, make a
Tebutech Garages Limited.
Apart from sir, car that wotimi eto, and now Toma Wono, was sign importation of cars and was spare parts. If Rabutreba, Wokoto Kamawa, a free.
Ace, also what you call
Tebutech Garages Limited, La Paz Malam Road, after Baya traffic light. Wah. Bibiania for 0206 48 17 and 3 and 0542 96 11 11. Website tebotechghana.com.
Tebutech Garages Limited.
Hey, Kaya will be a Benyani.
Tebutech Garages Limited.
Your car beauty and the power boosters.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is simple buying, and man is swing, and a sansu mama hotel so a will beg you.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80-gram and 150-gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, Bunty, why you there? What lie tell I today go give me my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba un 17 and baby. Scan on ASA. 500 cities pay. Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry, Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with one chat.
Visit the Wanna Own website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select One Shot Game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cities.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi.
Boom!
You need too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
has been our resolve how to get interest rates down. And I'm on record to have declared that for me, my personal prayer each morning is that by the time I am leaving office, I've done 1 year so far, I believe I have 2.5 more years to go, I want to see lending rates below 10%. So last week, a friend at AFSA, he sent me a message and he said, Governor, it seems you have almost achieved the thing. Oh. He said, why? Because he said the general reference rate was around 11. It's now below even 11%. 10.8. So that means that on average, if you're a good customer, a customer that has the good, credit record, you are likely to get a lending rate of around that amount. Isn't that good? I mean, it makes no sense. So together we have to strive to maintain this new environment we have created in the past 1 year. Low interest, stable exchange rate environment. It is such a necessary condition. There's nothing we can do without it. On our part at the Bank of Ghana, that is what we do. That is what my generals are here every day. How to hold this anchor for the sake of our businesses going forward. And we do everything possible to move things forward.
We must now move with greater urgency and intention to position Ghana as the manufacturing hub of West Africa. No nation becomes truly prosperous by exporting raw materials alone and ending up importing value. We cannot continue to produce cocoa and import chocolate, grow food and import too much of what we could process locally, or ship out raw opportunity while buying back finished products at a premium. If Ghana is serious about structural transformation, then we must produce more of what we consume, process more of what we grow, and more value to what we mine, and build local industries that can compete within Ghana, across West Africa, and beyond. Exactly the vision of President John Dramani Mahama. Why this manufacturing push is urgent? Because it is urgent because it will result in jobs, value addition, exports, and an expansion in our GDP. This agenda is urgent because Ghana is a youthful country, and the demand for meaningful jobs is already pressing on the nation. Our young people do not just need inspiration, they need pathways to work, productivity, ownership, and dignity. Manufacturing creates these pathways at a larger scale for our people. It creates jobs not only inside factories, but across the wider chain: agriculture, logistics, packaging, engineering, maintenance, marketing, technology, warehousing, finance, and distribution. In other words, industrial growth multiplies opportunity far beyond a single production line. It also strengthens exports, deepens local supply chains, improves foreign exchange resilience, and expands GDP through value addition, rather than dependence on raw output alone. If we want a bigger economy, a more stable economy, and a more inclusive economy, then manufacturing must sit at the center of our growth strategy.
The mighty minority told the people of Ghana that with time, they will see the true colors of the NDC. Ghanaians have seen the true colors of the NDC. And I'm sure, just as that poor cocoa farmer said, Mahama, what the in other words, they are saying that the president owes them for their cocoa. He has to pay. No matter what he does, he owes them. Mr. Speaker, I won't be never.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I think that let us be clear. I did not just rise on my own. The Speaker of the House asked a specific question, and Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Minority Leader, I'm a member of this House, and I have maximum respect for leadership. So playing to the gallery with some of the comments you made are very unfortunate. But let's be clear, I did not rise to object to government business. The Speaker of the House, and sometimes when you're in the chair, you should pay attention to business in the House. The Speaker in the chair asked the question, anybody with an objection? So I didn't rise on my own. I rose in response to the question the Speaker asked. I caught his eye, and he gave me the floor. So I didn't just rise on my own. So it's important that we set the record straight. It's going into the Hansard. There are people you play to the gallery with. We have our banter when we have to. But when it's on the record is the record. And so if you're asking me to withdraw what? Are you asking the Speaker to withdraw his question if there was anybody in opposition? The Speaker asked that question, and I rose on it. And let us state for the fact that your people have asked questions. For those of you who have just come to Parliament and haven't paid attention to even the orientation, you make the noise. But you see, no. First timers who didn't pay attention. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister responsible for communication.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
What you have to withdraw is if the questions are not taken, you wouldn't be able to come back and answer them.
Mr. Speaker, the very individuals who asked the questions, I said the questions have been invited to answer, for which I've sat in the chamber for 2.5 hours, are time bound. The individuals who have even filed the question are not in the chamber. And so I'm saying to you that, Mr. Speaker,
all you need to do is to wait when it gets to the time and we call the question. And the individuals are not here to ask the question. Then whoever is presiding at that material moment will give the necessary directions. That is what happened. But I'm not also comfortable of the statement that if the questions are not handled for today, you will not be able to come back and answer the questions.
A moment ago, the Honorable Minister made a statement to the effect that me urging upon him to withdraw a rather unfortunate statement amounted to playing to the gallery. He went on further to use his left hand to point at some colleagues at the back bench, claiming that they have just come and they should go and learn the rules. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sam George indeed is a colleague member of Parliament. But he knows, and I know, that once you become a Minister of State, you hold an elevated position. And no matter what, all of us must accord that rank the needed respect. I find what he just directed at my backbench unfortunate. With the left hand, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, there is a good reason why you have a front bench. That in all difficulties and dangers, as you see them, you engage so that we all resolve. Even if they were wrong, you are a Minister of State. Even if you saw anything wrong, you don't use your left hand to attack a colleague in the chamber. That's exactly what you did. Mr. Speaker, anyway, that thing that we cherish melts, and it melts with time. I rest my case.
Who says shoes or someone? On what about Parliament, not cars on what they want to say, hey! Wait, I said, Omo a champagne socialist. Omo confront them, tells them that they are champagne socialists. That is what they do. Hypocrisy, double standard. They do politics without principles. Tell them on your campuses. Face them with these words. These are hard facts. They should look at their leaders. Now they are enjoying. And they have abandoned the grassroots. Some of the teen boys who are hungry and on campuses, when they want to do politics, face them with these facts. Tell them, They lie to you. They make you a hungry person. They make you poorer. They don't even give you opportunity. Yet you follow propaganda. Face them with the facts. Because MPP, we have a story to tell. Don't be worried at all when you hear on your campuses they are tagging any of your leaders with that so-called corruption. Don't mind them. If they do not, they believe in whatever they are saying, they should go to court and go and tell the truth to the court. It's the reason why they removed the Chief Justice, because they know that the Chief Justice will not help them to do persecution.
All right. You're watching Good Morning God on the Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. That's on your radio dial. My name is Aldo Moro. Today's a holiday, as I did mention, and so we're doing something quite differently. And usually would pick up the newspapers and look at the big issues and get our guests to share their thoughts on the issues that we raise. But today it's going to be entirely different because, first of all, it's a holiday, and also when you have a chance to talk to the minority leader in Parliament, why not? You'd create some time to have that kind of engagement with him, because he's a very busy man. Once he makes time to join your show, it would always be a welcome news and a welcome development. And so, as I did indicate, I have the minority leader in Parliament. Sorry, I have the minority leader in Parliament. He's an MP for the good people of Efutu constituency, fourth-term member of Parliament. He leads the charge of the minority in Parliament. He doesn't like us to call or he's not comfortable when we describe his group as, or when some people describe his group as micro-minority, so it should rather be mighty minority. I'm talking about the man Osahene Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Marking. He's my guest on the Good Morning Ghana show, and he's made time of his very, very busy schedule to join us, and so we're grateful that he's been able to make time. Honorable, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
And, call it Easter Monday.
Yes, when you're supposed to be with family, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
And the constituents.
The job demands, so it's all part of the work.
Right.
Being with your constituents and appearing in the media space to communicate the views of the caucus and activities in the constituency. All of these are part of the work we're supposed to do. So we'll combine them.
Yeah. Well, Alex is a very good friend of mine. The only thing that I have an issue with is that he didn't go to a good school. He went to St. Augustine's. And I was in Adesado College, same year. I would have wished he came to Adesado, but I'm sure that he didn't get opportunity to come to Adesado, otherwise he would have. That's the plain truth. And so he's an APSU, unfortunately. And when we have private engagement, I get a sense that he would have wished he was in Adesado, but it's okay. It's one of those things. That's the history now. Alex, good to see you once again.
The most privileged school in Ghana is St. Augustine's College.
How?
It comes without doubt.
How?
You didn't tell me how you think Adesado is the best school, but I mean, St. Augustine's is second to none, and I think I'm not going to get into that debate.
Okay.
This morning, but
no problem.
You know obviously that you yourself would have wished being part of the APSU fraternity, but your children can have the opportunity, so don't worry much about that.
I would have been surprised you didn't fight back, because this is not something you would want to state publicly. In private conversations, he won't tell me directly, but I get the impression.
Oh my goodness!
That he has a lot of admiration for the zebras.
Listen, in my primary school, my desire was to go to St. Augustine's.
And the desire was
my
fulfilled.
cousins were choosing other schools.
Yes.
I was never moved. I was determined to do St. Augustine's.
Okay.
And that was it. Nothing changed my mind. And still proud, I enjoyed my secondary education in St. Augustine's.
You know,
and I know it is a wish of many to be part of the St. Augustine's fraternity. So, You have your decided. That's okay. No problem. But you guys, you are not our rivals.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, those other boys.
Yes.
Who's
the red.
Who are they really red? Their color, whether it's faded something or
whether it's pink or
I don't know. These other boys, we are your friends. So
yes, as soon as we are very good friends. Yes, we're very good friends.
It's those other boys.
You know, it is because of them. It's Ankuma's people. They are the reasons why we sang the song Onya disco beba nanso ye dia fa ne ko. Onya disco beba nanso ye dia fa ne ko. Onya disco beba nanso ye dia fa ne ko. Ama wakoshe kwa buchi ama. Anyway, good to see you, Alex. And
my brother.
Thank you once again. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. And first of all, happy Easter. What are your reflections? What are your reflections on Easter? You know, as we celebrate Easter.
This Easter, so Holy Thursday, I was at Christ the King with my general secretary. So it was a good moment, reflecting on everything about life.
Right.
You know, the story of Jesus is very relatable. You know, you have your inner circle, and knowing that one of them is selling you out to your adversaries, and feeling so insecure that none could stand up for you at that very critical hour. They gripped with fear, and Christ himself was alone. So going to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray, asking for some higher powers to aid him to go through that difficult moment which he had chosen for himself. And then eventually, his most trusted ally, I should put it, deny him thrice before, you know, the morning. It was quite heartbreaking, and it was a moment to relate the story of Christ to our own lives and what we go through day in, day out. But in all of these, he didn't give up. Then Friday itself, the Good Friday, I was at the cathedral. I joined the Archbishop at the cathedral, and it was also a good session. It was service, it was not mass. The Good Friday service with the family. 2 of my kids had come back from school. So together with Madame, the 4 of us were there. And Holy Saturday was also a whole day of reflection for me. I didn't go anywhere. Had some other emergencies to attend to. So I used the moment to stay at home to reflect and do prayers. Then Sunday morning, I went to Isuichiri. My great-grandpa comes from Isuichiri in Winneba.
Yeah.
So I decided to attend a Catholic church there, St. Andrews. It's a small community, you know, so I didn't want to be at the parish, you know, Sacred Heart, where I'm supposed to be. And I didn't want to be in any big church. I was supposed to decide whether to go to Chiame and have a mass with the old man,
right,
or go to Isuichiri, and eventually we settled on Isuichiri. So I was there, and a Nigerian priest, you know, led the mass. He touched on quite a number of issues, and the main theme for the day was love. How we should love one another and work together no matter what, and that's service instead of thinking too much about self. So I've picked my own reflections for the rest of the year. Easter is a very unique occasion for me personally. I don't believe in the noise around Easter. I don't believe in that noise around Easter. I don't believe that period is a period of fanfare. So I hardly would want to get too exposed when it gets to such a period. I think I see something more spiritual in Easter, that you delve deep within and raise your higher self.
Is that the same posture that you adopt in all the social events that are centered on religious doctrines? Or it's just for Easter?
Well, I don't want us to discuss religion this morning, but I would say I have my own views about certain things, and
because you said for you like to celebrate Easter in a more solemn, quiet, more reflective mode. I'm saying that is that the same attitude that you're attached to?
Well, for the Christian faith,
Christmas,
we have Christmas and then
Easter.
Yes. Christmas is about the birth of a child.
Right.
So it's more of a joyous moment. So that too, there's some reflection about the man who became flesh from the spirit of the Virgin, and at a very small community, Bethlehem, a small community. Nobody expected the Savior to be born from there. And then the story of the king who heard about the birth of that child and ordered others to be, all male kids to be killed, if not to use the word murder. And the wisdom with which the couple received the message from the angel that, look, escape to Egypt, with a little one. Today, somebody may be in doubt, ask himself, why would God, with all his powers, order the couple to escape with a little one? They could have, through mystery, miracle, ordered all of those other attackers dead, and protected the child. But, God's ways are quite complicated, and you always need that discernment to appreciate it. So there are some useful lessons there on how to be obedient and how to know the voice of the realm, so that you don't end up, in harm's way. Sometimes I remember back in the days, my old man used to say in Fante, "Osi owunti obin yedo."
To wait because of death. Obin yedo no cheden.
San kan mpanyimfo wobin wo ho.
Okay.
They were fortified.
They're fortified. Yes.
They fortified themselves spiritually.
Right.
So in other words, there's no amount of fortification can stop death.
That's true.
So
that's a fact of life.
Of course. So what that meant was that be careful and pay attention. You can't do things biara because you think that you're being for. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So Christmas also has its own story that we learn from. But all in all, I personally think that one always needs to take a moment to reflect. I try to do that. Sometimes in my own quiet way, I'll go to Christ the King, the Grotto, and sit there quietly, drive myself. I wouldn't want my driver or anybody to be with me and say, "Oh, give me 10 minutes or 30 minutes, I will be back." Just to go and, sit, meditate, reflect, Because this whole life, you know, you can't depend so much on your strength. You fail. You know, I've gone through life at 47 and a half. I have one more month to be 48. So 49, 40, almost 48. Almost I should put it. A friend was 49 and he said almost 50. Yeah. So almost 48. I've seen quite a lot.
Right.
And I can say that in all of these difficulties I went through, it took the grace of God.
Right.
An intervention miraculously, you know, in one way or the other. Sometimes, if you pay attention to them, they speak to you. If you pay attention to them, they speak to you. Right. They talk to you. And you feel fulfilled. You know, if you go wayward and you act too much of the flesh too, and you know. So I always urge upon people, let's commit it to prayer.
Right.
But committing it to prayer also means hard work. You know, God reveals to redeem, and He helps us in so many ways. These are brothers and sisters in other jurisdictions in the West. We see them so successful in technology and all that. It's because they know their God.
Absolutely.
And we appear that we have abandoned our God. You know, some people sometimes think that acting too God means you be lazy. No, it is not about it. If you act God well, if you seek your God well, you become successful. You know, but it's how you do it. And I also don't like to condemn other religions. I mean, people may think that one religion is superior over the other. I don't believe so. I see God as like osun enwa. No one need to be biara or yanam. You see? So the Almighty has revealed Himself in so many ways to humanity. And whichever part of the world you find yourself and see that aspect of God, you hold it. You know, in any event, I think Christ Himself showed us the way. You know, at a point when His disciples were quite curious about His new teaching,
right,
salvation and all of that, then He shared this thought with them that, look, it's not more about those who say, I prayed, I did healing, I preached your word, and all of that. He talked about some basic things. And Ozibube, that mekade fiazeno ambassador okomizim amameziban me piatarashe anshimibi me pedan madem amamedan mandem. You know, you deny me shelter, deny me food. Then later he talked about the widow's mite, that widow. And when they were giving, people gave huge amounts and said the widow gave all she had. You know, all of these demonstrations, Christ was saying something basic. Access to God, salvation, success, blessing, comes from basic things. Show love, share, care. You can't get it perfect, but you know that somebody is in need. You have it and have it more. Your children are in the boarding house. You know of a poor woman who is divorced or who is a single parent, whose child also is intelligent, and you can afford to even pay all. You won't pay. Then you rather subject that child to ridicule. And then you go and do some small donation and you put it all out in media. It's hypocrisy, Jesus said. So give it from your heart. And that in itself is blessing. So for instance, yesterday I was telling my assembly members and constituency officers that, look, do you know that how we serve humanity, how we serve the people of Ifutu, would pave way for our salvation? Oh, heaven and kreno, ebi a assemblyman sum na sumeno, on eziboko heaven, because eru sum nyimpa. Inti nye chapel no dodo on ncheda man kwa chapel. Inye mpa ebododo on ncheda man bompa. But then no, your approach, You know, whether you are Muslim, you are a Hindu, you are an Ek, whatever, that you are a traditional believer, that you believe in ancestral means of serving your creator, it is a character that, you know, so we all strive to that level of perfection. I try. I'm not a perfect guy,
right?
But at least I have a basic understanding of these things that if I get it wrong, I should immediately apologize, say sorry. Once I feel it within my heart that this one I'm wrong, not by prompting. Where I may be right, but I feel that the other party is so hurt, I have to reflect and say, look, let's move on. You know, we try. And I would want to leave a mark as a member of parliament, serving the people of Ifutu. I feel that, though sometimes I feel strongly that I should be a preacher. I've said it before.
I was just about to ask you this question. I was just about to ask you whether it was something you were considering to be a minister of God.
Yes, I feel strongly about it all the time. You know, if you suffer, you know, suffer marking or a Methodist suffer, and yaboti wufi, you know, nyamesum yaboti wufi. So, but I'm a Catholic. I went to St. Augustine's. I don't think the Catholic space I can get, you know, by the structure of the Catholic Church. But when the time comes, I'm sure Bishop will give me a role. You know, get a village for me to, if not to be a catechist, to be part of the church evangelism. You know, Catholic Church does evangelism. So I'm sure when the time comes, I mean, it's something I feel someday I will do, because there are times that you are in the mood of political leadership and your mind is so deep into the faith. You want to share the word with somebody, like we're doing this morning.
Right. Now think about combining your religious, your spiritual life with that of politics. And you know how politicians have generally been described with all kinds of words. I don't want to repeat them on the platform, but one of it is that they are not honest people. They are, in fact, my very good friend Black Rasta says politricians. That's how he calls them. Now, how do you deal with that kind of conflict? I mean, sometimes when you have to be frontal about certain issues, but at the same time, your religion would have said, okay, you know, pipe down, hold on, be patient, and so on and so forth. So this conflict between what the religious values teach us, as again wanting to please your party membership, because they want to hear you, you know, speak in certain ways that sometimes personally is not something that you're comfortable with. Well, is that conflict real? And how do you deal with it?
I don't see any conflict at all. You see, you are dealing with an ideological viewpoint. I mean, your views on a national matter. It's a debate. So let's deal with the right of center, the left of center. My party, the MPP, the tradition believes in the center-right ideology. Constitutionalism, rule of law, free speech, private enterprise support, providing for the poor through social intervention programs to create equilibrium or some balance. So quite obviously, when you are confronted with any argument, putting out these views can only be done with that level of passion, provided you understand your own ideology. Whereas somebody to the left of center would also be talking about state control, sharing of wealth, public wealth, investing more in state enterprises, etc. And right of center will say, well, when you do that, there's always an abuse and all of that. People will take advantage and it makes people lazy. So when these ideological arguments come to play, expect some passion, expect some emotions. But that does not take away your core values of showing love, of showing respect. So perhaps we can put the argument this way, that in expressing those views, be careful you don't cross the red line. In Parliament today, I can tell you for a fact that overwhelming numbers in the chamber are centrists. Centrists in the sense that they believe that there must be that fierce political debate, but relationship must be kept. So you can see, for instance, Ayerga, majority leader, and my good self debating. But soon thereafter, we go to the division room. So when he filed the emotion, contempt against me, people were like, why? I said, oh, he's doing his work. Maybe he's been directed by his party to take a certain step. Maybe his own conviction, he wants to take a certain step. Mine is not to go emotional and personal in reacting. I must also react to it politically. And then we can have a political solution. Speaker, very experienced. He may be doing something, you may be worried. But a friend of mine told me in my early days as a majority leader and later as a minority leader, he said, look, don't complain about the speaker. This is what he told me. We met one-on-one. He said, Dumega, don't complain about the speaker. See every action of his as a political strategy and develop a political strategy as an answer to it. You get what I mean?
Right.
For me, that was quite profound. And if all of us as politicians understand that our actions are to advance a political cause within the national space, then we don't have to be emotional and personal. There are people who can take it. For instance, I mean, there are times that you throw a political punch and somebody will call you and say, why are you being personal? I say, what is personal about this? You know what I mean? I need to say it. What's wrong? For instance, if you have issued a letter which causes mass dismissal of employees in the public space, whose parents, whose families were depending on them, and they've been sacked. As an opposing political figure on the floor, I shouldn't say it because we are friends. I would rather say it and lose your friendship. You get what I mean? That is not being personal or being dirty, but stating the facts. Let me be very, blunt. You remember the letter by the Chief of Staff?
Yes.
Directing state institutions to terminate the employment of those who had been employed after the election. Post 7th December.
Yes.
Now, what happened was that some of these state institutions took advantage and rather sacked people who had been in the employ since 2017 to give way for their own party people. A thing like this, Afenyo Makin cannot shut his eyes and mouth on such an infraction. When I'm talking about it in Parliament, I must refer to the letter. So at this point, it doesn't matter the relationship. I'm not denigrating the signatory to the letter. Neither am I denigrating the office. Neither am I attacking the person, but I'm stating the fact. So if, for instance, stating the fact will cause relationship, I would accept it. After all, being a minority leader, I was forewarned that Kwamina, being a leader, you are not going to have a friend, you're not going to have a mother, you're not going to have a wife, you're not going to have children. It is a party. So I have that at the back of my mind that I'm going to lose some friends. I'm going to lose some relationship because you need to speak the bitter truth. But I'm also careful that in speaking the bitter truth, I guide the choice of words, the language. Because I recall Honorable W. Obuafo Papa Usankuma, and Akoto say your blessed memory. In my days as a backbencher, they told me and other colleagues that in opposition, always bear in mind that the next day you'll be in government. So you must be measured in language. Don't go too much. That as if you have to pound and pound and pound. That's not the way. So you hit the government a bit and give the government space to also operate. Because eventually when you also come into office, you will need space to operate. So don't be too hard on the government as if you're a CSO.
Okay. We'll talk about, in fact, you've taken the winner.
Perhaps I have to land on that.
Okay.
So I can, in rounding up on this point, I'm basically saying that you don't have to create a conflict with your faith or your core values just because of the politics. Show respect, accept it when you get it wrong, create the back channel where you guys can talk over core national issues that the public may not even have to know or will never get to know, but all in the name of democracy. And in so doing, it also doesn't amount to any political hypocrisy because it's a necessary evil in any serious democracy.
Okay.
I want to end
there. That's fine. And I think that you have brought an issue up which we'll deal with at some point in greater detail, which has to do with your role as a minority leader and how you have fared so far. And I'm sure some of these issues will come up. But let's come back to this occasion, talking about the Easter celebrations. And there was a speech that was delivered. First of all, you couldn't attend the Eco Business Forum. Last year you were there. The maiden edition, you were there. You delivered a speech. This year, you couldn't attend.
Like I said, there were some family emergencies.
The family emergencies,
I needed to deal with.
Now, Jerry, first of all, what are your thoughts about this Eco Business Forum? And then dovetail that into your message to the audience that attended, which was delivered by Jerry Ahmed Shoaib, who's the... Shaib, right. I don't know why they keep saying Shaib. It's actually supposed to be Shoaib, but anyway, Shaib. Who's the MP for, what's the name of this constituency? Wage Agbawe, yes. So your thoughts about the business forum and then the message that you sought to deliver to the audience that attended. And then we can come to your role as minority leader.
I think that as an entrepreneur who operated in the mining sector some 18 years ago. What I know for a fact is that in the mining sector in particular, is largely dominated by our foreign compatriots. Little Ghanaian presence. In the value chain, those local content bit of it, even the few that are controlled by Ghanaians, there's nothing to write home about. If you come to the manufacturing, same. Oil and gas is even worse. I registered as a local content player and for over 12 years, I've never won a single job.
Really?
Yeah, my company registered as a local content. Recently, when the previous chief executive, I've seen 3 chief executives who, the first one I've forgotten, but at least I remember Senior Magas and MFA Hardcastle now. And the last time when I met MFA, for instance, I told her that, look, you guys must try and give space to the local players because it's quite difficult. The structures make it difficult for a Ghanaian to penetrate, though we have the law as a local content. Egbert's time, we tried, but you can't blame them. It's the way the system is. So
the playing field is not even?
At all.
Wow.
Now, if you come to trading, the retail, that one too, because of ECOWAS, we have a chunk of sub-regional players coming in and our indigenous traders have been complaining and all. So a platform like this in itself is a good initiative, and I commend the Chief of Staff and his friends who came up with this idea for at least creating a platform for a voice to be heard, where all the parties are brought together. So the Kwewu Business Forum initiative, from the view of an entrepreneur, is a perfect platform. Now, what we need to do beyond it is to have some actionable resolution.
True.
Where we would follow through. So, for instance, after first edition, coming to second edition, we should be able to say that in first edition, this is what we did. Particularly for small businesses. A lot of young Ghanaian ladies are venturing into manufacturing. Some have their own professions and they ventured into this. There are religious leaders who are interested in entrepreneurship. There are others who, by their very nature, are entrepreneurs. So, this forum should go beyond politics. Although people complain that it's often populated by party members, it should be expected, but it should go beyond that. And in so doing, we need to create a certain base, a base where we would nurture and grow businesses, a base where we would leverage. So, for instance, the area of mining, the area of oil and gas, that I told you that there is little presence of Ghanaians there. You force the policy makers. So once you have the president there, you take advantage of the president's presence to make your case, so that in formulating policies, it is done deliberately to assist or help local business. You see, Audu, in Ghana today, and I don't want anybody to get me wrong, most of the CSOs who undertake investigative journalism or critique on government actions and talk about corruption, and I'm not questioning the modus. I don't want to be misquoted. But unfortunately, whether by coincidence or whatever, all the exposures are against Ghanaian companies. But I know, I'm a businessman. Some of these companies, we are competitors. I know foreign firms that make it huge. They get $150 million contracts. They get $200 million contract. They get $50 million contract. When you are paying them, their accounts are abroad. Not a single CSO has ever come out with any expose against a foreign registered firm. That, to me, that coincidence is quite concerning. I must be honest.
Maybe there's nothing to expose.
Oh, please. I'm saying,
yes.
Just for argument.
Yes.
I'm throwing it out there, respectfully. Look, when this government came into office, I won't list them, but go to Parliament, look at the other paper. The juiciest contracts
are going to foreigners.
Look at it. Go and look at it. I wouldn't mention now. But you get your parliamentary correspondent to look at the other papers from day one. From day one. Obianka Hunshio. No, nobody sees anything wrong. I am not saying that a Ghanaian business must not be subjected to any scrutiny. But it is quite concerning that when a Ghanaian business is succeeding, we are up in arms against how it's succeeding. You get what I mean?
I get it.
So we have to look at it properly. Listen, the way the world politics is going, if you don't domesticate, you collapse. And NDC should not take things for granted. There's a huge disappointment out there. They will be shocked. If elections are held today, NDC would be shocked. What happened to us in 2024, theirs will be worse. I wish them well, though, because if the country succeeds, all of us will benefit, by the way. So I'm not looking at it from the political lens, but I'm looking at it in the national interest. That NDC, Mr. President, is exiting. I would beg of you, Mr. President, look critically at every single contract that gets out there. And at least make sure, if not all, at least any 50-50. I would do only 50-50. Deliberate. Mr. President must be deliberate. Get all the ministers to be deliberate. And it's not just being a Ghanaian company, but an indigenously owned Ghanaian company. You can have a Ghanaian company, foreign owned. By the way, I'm not against a foreigner investing in Ghana.
True.
I am also not against foreign investment in Ghana. I am not anti-foreign investor. But I'm saying is that contemporaneously, we must grow our own. Because whoever invests in Ghana, onye nisika na, odo sanse ko, he has to repatriate the money. Because it's also coming from a source. You can't question them. But if a Ghanaian makes it here, he stays here and creates a job. Now, I've said one thing. Let me say the other. I also have a problem with many Ghanaian businessmen who get state support and abuse same. And this is also another warning to the NDC in government today. And those young guys from among their stock who are being nurtured. Look, this morning is not for any political hypocrisy. It is to be expected that once a party comes into office, it will identify some young party boys who are business oriented. Kufuor did that for many businessmen. Akufo-Addo helped many youths to do business. But the problem is the abuse. Abuse is abanisika. Look, if you go to exit, people got the opportunity and abuse it. Those days, there used to be IDIF at Ministry of Trade. Go and check the records. Many Ghanaians got the opportunity and abused it. 1D, 1F, many got the opportunity and abused it. In the end, the politician must answer. No. I think that from the Kwewu Forum, as I'm also hitting government, that government should do it right. I am also saying that fellow Ghanaian entrepreneur, when the opportunity comes, don't abuse it. If you are given $2 million to start a business, don't go and buy a car, don't go to East Legon, to Ajingano or airport to buy a house, and then turn around and say, I supported NDC to come to office. No, that is wrong. That means you don't support your president's legacy for the country. And in the end, it's the country that suffers. You get what I mean?
Okay.
So, it's two ways. Once we talk about indigenous businesses growing, being given the opportunity, I also think that indigenous businesses must prepare themselves with that level of discipline. Look, one sora no wonye sika. Sika was in yansa na was sika. You use wisdom, you use patience. Industry is asking for patient capital. But I know that patient capital requires a long-term planning. By the way, when I say patient capital, I'm talking about that capital that is long-term, that has low interest, that gives you the space to pay after 10 years or 15 years. But again, the policy must be said that in supporting this, it would also be sure that you have systems in place to sustain that. Because if the man is 60 years and is asking for patient capital of 15 years, which is, say, 10 million, and the government or the regulation, the institution of state is not too sure, or the bank is not too sure, that you have a succession plan that will allow that you are 60, in 15 years you'll be 75. You'll be so weak, you may even be dead and gone. What are the support systems you have in place? If they are not sure, they can't give you that patient capital. Meanwhile, you have a beautiful idea. So it is more about the attitude, how we approach this. You know, our workers, the Ghanaian workers' attitude must be one of ensuring the success of all. We don't have that attitude.
Right.
I'm sorry. So, on the national scale, I think that the government must try reintroducing what President Kufuor did, a national orientation program. The whole country needs a national orientation.
Right.
Because how do you started by saying that some critics say politicians play politics.
A dishonest man.
They are dishonest.
Yes.
So the ordinary man on the street also has a certain perception. So in the end, both are becoming dishonest.
Right.
Who wins?
Nobody.
Nobody does. Do you get what I mean? So I think that Mr. President and his government must begin an aggressive national orientation program which will trickle down to the grassroots level, where all of us will share in that dream. You know, when you talk about the American dream,
right?
It is a dream of success, survival, working together, ensuring that nobody is left behind. That spirit is there. The Americans have put it on the minds of people. If you go to the United States, people have the American flags, you know, hoisted on their walls, in their houses, in front of their doors, on their cars. Here, how many times do we even carry the national flag?
Because we're not clear about what is the Ghana dream.
That's what I'm saying, that it's not too late. Under this reset,
yes,
Mr. President can initiate it. By the way, Kufuor did it, all right? And you realize that certain conversations started. Because all the problems that we're talking about, trust me, we will be repeating ourselves all the time if we don't change our attitude.
Right.
Why would a Ghanaian businessman go and bring an expert to be his general manager? So that the workers, when they see Obroni, that's when they will be alert. Because there's a problem. So it's not only in the public sector, but it has found its way in the private sector.
True.
Sometimes when you are being too hard, your workers may find you too difficult. But that is the reality. Okay? In the office, the person knows that he has to report at 8 a.m. He will come at 10 and find an excuse. It's not cool.
True.
And then I think, again, we are over-investing in the white-collar certificates. I'm not against universities. I would do. But you go to Switzerland, yeah? A country like Switzerland has a policy that is deliberately encouraging apprenticeship, skill training. So another problem that I've been talking about, which many people know, yet there is no political decision to champion a policy, is the skilled labor space. President Akufo-Addo started it by making TVET free. The STEM that was introduced, science, technology, innovation, mathematics, we invested in all the 58 NVTIs and then made it free. The effort there too was to ensure that we build a skilled workforce. Today, if you go to many of the sites, you go and meet Togolese, Nigerians, Burkinabes. They are carpenters, masons, tilers, POP. So the economy can record that so much jobs have been created, right? But the question is, the so much jobs created, which people benefited? Non-Ghanaians. It is not the creation of those people. It's our creation policy. So one area that President Mahama may have to look at strongly is the skilled labor, subsector, the training, continuing the Akufo-Addo program, and making deliberate efforts at ensuring that our youth see skill training as an alternative way. So I should be okay if my son comes to tell me, Daddy, I want to learn carpentry. Instead of saying, why are you not going to university? I'm a lawyer. Why do you want to be a carpenter? In Switzerland, they are doing that. People should not feel queer, shouldn't feel bad, shouldn't feel that I am a low-graded person, second-class citizen, if I have technical skill. But the person must have that pride, that happiness, that I chose that field, and this is my field, so that there is a balance.
Right.
Now, everybody is chasing that white-collar certificate, degree. I'm not against acquisition of degree, but we are creating many more universities and choking the market with the degrees, and then the space that would also create the jobs, or where the job creation is easy, where people can build their own entrepreneurial skills, we are ceding that space also to foreigners.
Right.
So there is a certain mismatch in terms of policy, which I believe that the government may have to look at critically, because all this galamsey we keep talking about, people's answer is I survivor.
Right.
If you go in there, you see degree holders who are there. But if we've trained them with the necessary skill and they understand and they know, they won't be doing this.
True.
So we should look at the country beyond now, 20 years, 10 years, and ask the question. Political leaders, can we survive the implosion? Can we survive the backlash? Unfortunately, social media has put everything out there. And if we don't sit up, we'll have ourselves to blame.
Okay. I want us to talk about some other issues which has to do with entrepreneurship, and that's my final question on the matter of entrepreneurship, of course, on the back of the Kwewu Business Forum. The president has said something that I'm sure should excite you. He talks about how he's going to be very deliberate in ensuring that during his regime, there's nothing like an NDC businessman and an MPP businessman. And that for him is who can do the job. Now, he talks about how during the big push contracts that were awarded, some people came to him and talked about how some persons who eventually got the opportunity to do the jobs are actually MPP people. And that these are MPP people who have been given contracts for 8 years. Why are they still being given contracts under an NDC government? And then he tells the person that, look, can the person do the job? For him, that's what matters. Once the person has the capacity to do it, and the person is, in any case, the person is going to employ Ghanaians. And so he doesn't think there's a problem there, there's an issue there, but he thinks that it's a subculture that Ghana must do away with, where you come to power, NDC businessmen do well under an NDC government, and then the MPP, businesses struggle, and then vice versa. The MPP is in power, and the MPP businessmen do well, NDC businessmen, in some cases, even go moribund. They collapse. What are your thoughts about political victimization of businesses because of where they belong, in terms of their partisan affiliations?
Well, I have my own sad story, but I won't share it today.
You do?
Another time we'll discuss
Why
it.
not? What's the story? I'm eager to know.
What the president said.
Alex, I'm eager. I want to know.
President Akufo-Addo also went through
what's the story?
Similar
Story?
situation. I remember in the early days of the administration, there were all manner of accusations that Nanado's government was allowing certain businesses to still do business, and these were businesses that were there during NPP, NDC time and all. But this brings me back to my earlier submission. You see, whenever these conversations come up, the conversation centers only on Ghanaian businesses. You see, unfortunately, it is the Ghanaian businesses that attacked NDC, NPP. But the foreign businesses are not tagged that way. So you realize that each time they get a space, like I told you, that if you go into Hansa, all the juiciest jobs that this government has given out have gone to foreigners. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I know the space, and I know this one is that, this one is that, this one is that, right? So if the president has made this promise, fortunately he's been president before, and at least he has a fair idea how the system is. So if he's committing to it, I'm sure we'll all support him, because it's quite worrying. Okay, that in today Ghana, right? You know something funny that's happening.
What's happening?
You know that foreign businesses who are owed by government, a lot of them are getting their payment, whereas Ghanaian-owned businesses that are owed, fewer are getting paid so little.
You know this for a fact.
Oh, why? I'm saying I'm an industry player.
It's not hearsay. Somebody's come to tell you something.
I'm saying that I am an industry player. And we talk amongst ourselves, by the way. We talk amongst ourselves. We know. If somebody is paid, we know. All right? So sometimes, as I say, woman foreign, so we need to move beyond the talk and say we are growing this economy. Look, Atu is doing well, trying, young man, finance minister, has the trust of the president. He is doing everything to get the macro space stable. But it would be a bubble if we don't begin to put the support systems in place. It will crash. And would we have to blame him as a person? No, we don't have to. Must we blame the system? Yes. So, I want all of us to sit together, right? Identify the challenges. Recently, when we engage the industry players, GUTA, Employers Association, AGI, look, they told us a lot. And that formed the foundation of the speech by the minority in Kwewu. What we told the forum was what we had heard from industry players. It wasn't from us. And realize that after each engagement, I issued a statement to put out the facts, to tell government that set up. Look into these areas. How can you cancel 1D, 1F without an alternative plan? The AGI president, for instance, I said, look, he invested in Wale Wale, 90% done. The factory will create jobs for 3,000 people. They say it's MPP something. So over a year, the thing is there. If you go to Central Region, the potato chips factory, done. They need working capital. The factory is locked. The machines will go bad.
Maybe the president.
The outgrowers.
Maybe the president is not aware.
Oh, so we are making him aware. Okay. At least we are talking about it. I'm saying that we have to be deliberate about everything. I have a friend in Alicante. We're doing agro-textile business. And when I visited him, somewhere 2019, he told me, oh, the factory is 200 years old. His great-great-grandpa started it. And when he got to his turn, there were 4 brothers, and he chose to be an entrepreneur to manage the business. And he was showing me his new machines and the new technology. You get what I mean?
Right.
In Ghana, do we have any family-owned business that is even 50 years? Do you get my point? It was the Spanish government that gave the great-great-grandpa a loan to start, to build the great-great-grandpa. And they followed with systems in place, creating jobs. These are things that we must be deliberate about as a nation. The discipline from you who is benefiting, not to say that because you are a party man, you chop the money by heart. And then when your party leaders come to you, say, but I supported the party. Nonsense. Why? You don't have to do that. So that discipline is not there. You get my point? And then we, the political leaders, too, when we come, there's another ding-dong. We think that, if you destroy this person's business, if you don't even pay the person, or you think that, why should I pay this person? It's going to finance Osimesi. And so what? Pay the person, let the person employ more. Let's be deliberate about it.
Right.
You know, if you go to the AGI, Ghana Employers Association, GUTA, they are also complaining about limited consultation. They say sometimes after the policy has been rolled out, then they are invited into a meeting. The argument arose on the issue of what they term effective consultation. Effective consultation, where you engage them at all levels, hear their views. This VAT reform that was introduced, complete nonsense. Their businesses are going bad. You take away the flat system. You say you've introduced a new system. A trader, somebody who is selling drinks, who is into spare parts. Your friend say, VAT book of input and output. What be that? No, you don't have to do that. So you go to the port, you say you've introduced an AI system. Good news. We want government to get more revenue, but that AI, is it generic? How is it doing the input, the algorithms in there? How is it being done? Is it consulting all the parties, the stakeholders? How is it generating the values? People are complaining, so government can say, I've achieved so much. Revenue has gone up. The people there are thieves. We have caught them. But no, there may be a fundamental problem. You can resolve that through consultation so that the AI would achieve its purpose whilst there is efficiency and at the same time people can come around. I am for AI. I am for technology. But you cannot deploy technology blindly. And that is a problem at the port. So in the end, what GUTA told us was that goods that they were clearing, I say 10,000, has now increased to 30,000.
How?
They spoke to us on camera. All right? We recorded. Everything was live on Facebook, social media. Now, if government had listened carefully, they would have had a better way of deploring this. We are going to take certain actions, though. But for now, I want to say that government must listen more, especially when they come to Parliament. It's not enough to think that you have your numbers, so you just say it anyhow. The mining sector, the upscaling regime they've introduced is a disincentive to the investment community in that sector. Then they say that they've reduced whatever from 3% back to 1%. No. If you do the analysis properly, you realize that it's a much ado about nothing. So government would have to listen not just the minority, but listen to the industry players. If President Mahama wants to create a new golden age for doing business, wants to create an enterprise economy, then I think that there must be more listening to the private sector. a whole national orientation that would do away with those cynicisms of the past, this cycle of you do me, I do you,
right.
that tagging of companies. There must be a complete overhaul.
All right.
And it's not too late.
Okay.
If it is done and it's done well, when Dr. Bawumia comes in 2029, he would see the template. And I'm sure with those of us who are entrepreneurs supporting his vision, we would all say, Mr. President, look, this is the way to go. Because I have suffered. I have suffered since 2009. I won't give you details now. And I know others who went through similar thing and never recovered. Never recovered. There are many businesses who have never recovered from political attacks. And we must not allow that to continue.
Okay. Folks, and just in case you just joined us, I'm talking to the Member of Parliament for the Futu constituency. He's also the minority leader in Parliament, and he's a leader as a head of the Minority Caucus in Parliament. He called themselves the Mighty Minority.
The Mighty Few.
The Mighty Few, okay. We've been having conversations about, well, we started with the Easter celebrations and his thoughts and reflections, and told us what he believes are the values that we must learn from the Easter celebration. Talked about generosity, obedience, and so on and so forth. And also went in to talk about the Kwewu Business Forum and what he thought was whether the relevance or otherwise of it. He thought it was a good idea, but there must be some actionable plans that must be tracked so that year in, year out, we're able to tell where we're going with this forum, so that it doesn't become another forum for talk, no action, or talk only, no action. And that's where he was coming from. But then that dovetailed into some of the challenges that he believed that especially local, domestic, indigenous Ghanaian businesses are facing. And he raised quite a litany of them, and his eye is calling on the government to address those issues as well. And yes, so those kinds of things. Now, Alex, we've done about an hour. We have about 30 more minutes to go. We have another personality interview to do. Now, interesting, this person who's coming next is actually related to you. I'm sure that you have an idea who this person is. But let's talk about your tenure as a minority leader. So you started as a deputy majority leader, became the majority leader. You're now the leader of the minority. What would you say the experiences of being like, being a minority leader as compared to being a majority leader when your party was in government, now minority leader, your party is in opposition, and you're looking at the numbers. And I think that in the under the fourth Republican era regime from 1992, I think this is the smallest, I believe, that a minority leader has had to lead. How has the experience been like?
Well, let me attempt answering your question in the simplest way that people would understand. So the party was handed over to me in Parliament at a very crucial time. 2024 February, when I took over from Honorable Chairman Sabonsu. Things were quite challenging. It was an election year. Our friends in the NDC were so determined to win power. And, it was coming on the back of this Ken Must Go thing. And some members also had gone for their primaries, or were about going for primaries. I just want to be sure. I mean, let me not mislead people. I think people were either preparing for the primaries or they have just returned from primaries. And the center basically was shaking, because of the 137. Speaker himself was all determined to help his side, whilst at the same time trying to keep the balance. But it was obvious that he wanted his side to win, quite difficult. Eventually, remember the declaration of seat vacancies.
Right.
We tried behind the scenes engagement, it didn't work. I had to go to court. to get our majority at least restored. Even so, our friends were very physical, you know, threatening, all manner of things.
Okay.
Speaker shutting down Parliament. You remember the adjournment synod, and I mean it was not a good time to be a leader, you know. But it was also a time to test your preparedness for the office, and I would want history to judge my 9 months in that office. But I tried, and then eventually we got into the election with these unfortunate numbers. They won. I told myself, well, I can't win a vote, but at least we should prepare. And that's what I told my colleagues. I spent time reading the Hansard in the J.H. Minister era, and also spent time on Bagwin, because Bagwin also took over at a very difficult time. So I spent a lot of time, considerable hours reading and watching, you know, the videos, how things were managed. This man in particular, I had to study him, Doa Jaho.
Yes.
You know, he later became a speaker. And at least watching all of them, I came to a certain conclusion on what strategy to have. And besides that, I think I have a very strong team of colleagues in leadership. Mama Pat, the deputy leader, her words are few, but very firm in her conviction.
Right.
Anna Dompre and Habib combine their key strategists as organizers. You know, the whips, they organize everything. And they spend sleepless nights working hard to make things happen. And our new star on the block, Jerry, is a first-timer, but showing a lot of promise. He's our gun factor in the front bench, and in fact in Parliament today, he represents the Greater Accra face, you know, in the caucus.
Right.
Very hardworking. He's my senior brother, you know, but so submissive, so determined to do his bit.
That's Ahmed.
Ahmed, Jerry, Ahmed Shai, and then Habib has risen too fast, so fast. I mean, he's a fast learner. When he came in, I told him that, Habib, you know, you need to master the rules. Today, I will tell you that Habib knows the rules more than my good self, you know, because he studied it, and when he stands on his feet and is challenging anything on the floor with the rules.
He sounds like an authority.
It's not that he sounds, he's an authority.
He's an authority.
You know, he does it flawlessly. And then the issue of whether or not he's a lawyer doesn't come to play at all.
Right.
And then I know himself, he's the eye of the caucus, nosing and, you know, looking here and there and coming out with ideas how we should manage. So it's been that collective. And we have rankings and chairpersons, the external leaders, what I'll, you know, I'll put it, who are doing great.
Right.
And then foremost of these is our backbench. We have first-timers who are so determined, so hardworking, and I can't mention one and leave the other. So I commend their hard work, their industry, and I simply want to tell them that keep doing it right.
Okay.
Momentum is on our side. 2028 is ours. Our job is to do the heavy lifting for Dr. Baumia to win, and it is Parliament that we win from. So let's keep going. We've been very collective. This cocoa issue, we've been working at it, working on the students, working with industry, and our strategy basically is just to make sure that we hear from the people who matter, not to just sit in parliament and just blowing hot air. You know, when we had a meeting with Dr. Baumia, he re-echoed that point to us strongly just after the 31st January victory. That look, he wants us to engage more in research and prove a point that no matter what.
Do you think that having been a deputy majority leader, become majority leader now, you're now minority leader in parliament, which do you think is more powerful, more relevant?
Oh, Bernard asked me the same question.
Oh, he did?
You were also asking.
No,
powerful. It's not about which is powerful. Yes.
Okay.
Bernard asked the same and you are repeating.
Right.
So, you see, in parliament, let's deal with relevance.
Right.
In 2013, I was in parliament and Dr. Mark Esebeyeboa, I keep mentioning his name and I mention it for good reasons. He and I were picked by Akotose of blessed memory. We are the finance committee. And Dr. Akotose was deliberate about nurturing and grooming us. So Mark, for instance, first timer leading press conference. Che Mensah also took interest in me. Dan Botry, the chief whip, took interest in us, preparing us to learn. Now, within a short period of time, Mark distinguished himself and made a name for himself to the extent that there were times that the speaker was addressing him as a deputy ranking on finance. Yet he was a first timer. So this is a message to every member of parliament. It's not about the position you occupy. I, for instance, until I became a deputy majority leader, I had never occupied any leadership role in parliament. Vice chair of committee, no. Chairman of committee, no. Deputy ranking, no. Ranking, no. It is what you bring on board. Do your research, work hard, show strength. And you may be back there behind, they will bring you to visibility. If you get into parliament and you are lazy, you allow other things to preoccupy you and you don't show relevance, I'm sorry, nobody will take you serious. So it's not about the power, but it's about how you make yourself relevant. Consulting widely. In MPP, for instance, you can't be on your own. You need to consult.
Right.
We have council of elders who are very interested in the politics of the day. They have strong views. You need to hear them. So I don't sit there sitting as a Afenyo market, but sitting there as the party and putting together all views and taking responsibility. You get what I mean?
I get it.
So it's not about the power, but it's about how you utilize the space to make your position relevant and cause your views to be heard.
Quite clearly from everything you have said, you have a strong team, and so you credit what you have become today to the team, the strong, group of guys around you who are making your work easier to do as a minority leader. Do you have, from where you sit, the absolute support, unwavering support, wholehearted, undiluted, complete loyalty and support of your caucus members, the more than 80 members of parliament?
I don't need that.
Why?
The party needs that. And I would say that the party has the
You are the
loyalty.
commander of the truth,
No, if
which
you
is the
don't
caucus.
simplify issues,
Okay.
all of us, the 87, owe a duty to the party. And I'm saying simply that from what I know, all of us are loyal to the party's cause. We are there on the ticket of the party.
But you are their
It's
leader.
not about me.
No. You're their leader.
I will do. It's not about me.
Okay.
It's about the party. And the party putting us together in various positions.
Right.
I shouldn't be asking somebody to be loyal to me. No, that would be wrong.
Right.
I should be asking the person to be loyal to the party. My duty is to be loyal to the party. We have a leader, the flag bearer. All of us must align to his vision and that of the party. You get the point?
Do you gauge, I get the point you're making. The loyalty should go to the party more importantly than you, the person who's leading the caucus. I get the point. Do you periodically engage your friends, I'm talking about your colleagues who are members of the caucus, on how you are doing, how you're faring as the leader of the caucus? What kinds of feedback do you get from them? And how does that shape, for instance, what you do in Parliament?
Well, I think you are delving into in-house strategy. I wouldn't want to be discussing.
The reason I'm asking you, because I know you to be a very effective leader. I don't think that there's anybody at all who would dispute the fact that you've led a minority very well. But I want to know whether part of the factors that have made you who you are is also constant engagement with your people to find out, guys, how are we doing? Is there something we can do better? Where do you think we're falling? Is this something that you don't need to talk about? You don't need to tell me in greater detail what they've been telling you. But do you have that constant engagement with them?
If that's the thrust of your question,
that's
then
the thrust of my
I
question.
think that you should expect that.
Okay.
I mean,
not all leaders do that.
No, well, the
because
party,
for them, they believe you're always right.
The party MPP is a party of peers.
Right.
All right. You are their primus. And like I indicated earlier, you can't expect to have absolute powers.
Right.
And that you have all wisdom and all knowledge. The way the party is structured, it has in itself its own checks and balances and has a system for getting feedback. So yes, you know, there's always a way to engage colleagues and find a better approach. That system is there. And I don't think going into detail matters. And I'm happy you agree with that.
Yeah, these are, we call it these are house matters. You don't want to go public with it. But I think that's so far so good. I think you've done a good job in leading the minority, except that some people feel that sometimes you come across a bit belligerent, very combative.
No, it is necessary.
You know, you become very hostile.
It's all part of the job. Allow a space of mistakes. You can't be perfect. But a minority leader who is unable to punch when he has to punch, there's no worth being there.
Okay.
You get what I mean? I have to punch when I have to punch. I have to lose a friend if I have to lose a friend. That's what it is.
Right.
No. Sometimes you must upset a brother. I mean, it's part of it. Right. But of course, the humanity in you must also get you back to engage where you get it wrong. There are times that I know I give hard time to my staffers, my research team. You know, I give them hard time. It's part of it. And when we have to reconcile, we reconcile. You get what I mean?
Okay.
You can't be smiling and laughing all the time.
Now, this quest thing goes out to not to you as a person, as the leader of the caucus, but it goes out to the caucus itself. There's a certain view out there, and when you read social media commentary, you listen to analysts, there's a certain view out there that it appears that the minority in Parliament are struggling to find some kind of a scandal with this government, and so you're basically engaging what is termed as a fishing expedition. You're clutching at every straw. So for them, a small matter comes up and you want to blow it out of proportion.
I mean,
and it is because you still haven't learned your lesson as MPP in terms of the reasons why you lost the elections. And that is why you have engaged in this kind of political strategy. And that if you continue in this same way, in this same manner, you will not be able to please the electorate in 2028. What's your view on this?
Well, we have our strategy. And in this game, you can get it wrong sometimes. So I accept it. But all in all, I believe we are doing very well. That right time will come for people to see things for themselves. By the way, we are not the only group scrutinizing government policy and government actions. There are others who are also scrutinizing government actions. We raised the issue about the recruitment recently and all the issues surrounding it. We are not done yet. Wait for the final issues to be put out. 2, recently you heard about Deputy Chief of Staff who was awarded a 11 million contract by Gold Board, whereas Gold Board is recording losses, or Bank of Ghana, is paying for certain charges. And, until we raised it, the amount, the fees was 15%. When we raised the issue, there was an emergency board meeting, jointly, Bank of Ghana, Gold Board, and they reduced the fees to 9.55%. That was a major success, though we think it is not enough. But the fact that upon blowing the whistle, they themselves sat together and said, no, this is too much, in itself was enough. Now the issue about Fort Estate and the sole source, they came and said that as for them, they won't do sole source. Now today we see that the contract prices are even more than what was the case under Nana.
Alex, it's not a fact that they said they won't do sole source. They said they won't abuse sole sourcing.
Please.
That's not a fact.
Please.
They said they won't abuse sole sourcing.
Please.
They'll make it a rare.
Please.
They'll make it an exception.
You go and play the Sona tape. Yes. Go and play what majority leader said on the House floor. I mean, when they launched their manifesto in Winneba, what Mr. Sami J.F. himself said. I mean, let's be fair. Let's don't try to qualify things.
But even if
they said there will be no sole sourcing.
There will not be.
That's what they said. They said there will be no sole sourcing. Now we know.
But the records,
that they are the apostles
the records don't support that. The facts are.
Well, they said there will be no sole sourcing. Look, they've done 1 year. We are scrutinizing them. The time will come. The time will come. I have said that with time, Ghanaians will know the true colors of the NDC.
Okay. Let's talk about your party, DM. In fact, still on this matter of your leadership as a minority leader, what do you think is that one biggest lesson that you have picked up or you have learned following your defeat, massive defeat in the 2024 elections, which is informing your role as minority leader? One biggest lesson.
Give me time to think about it.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So you're watching us. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, a special edition. Today is a holiday, and so we're taking it, like we say, we're taking it cool, nice and slow. I have the minority leader in Parliament here with us. He's the MP for a 4-term member of Parliament. I'm talking about the Sahine himself, Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Marking. Now, there's quite a number of questions on social media. Social media, I'm told, is going to blaze. Lots of people wanting to ask you questions. Yes. In fact, my producer before you came here today was actually considering, was thinking about bringing people here to have a forum so that Ghanaians can ask you questions about what they think of you and what they want to know from you, that have an opportunity to meet the minority leader himself. So questions from viewers is ask him why can't he debate on the floor without shouting Hajj Square Najalo? Najalo, yes.
Is it a human being?
It's called Hajj Square Najalo.
That's a social media name.
I believe so. I think that's a social media name. Yes.
The way the chamber is configured, when you face your opponent when speaking, right?
Right.
So in most cases, they will be shouting, yelling, heckling. So it comes spontaneously at times. So you realize that where it is a normal statement, the approach is different.
Right.
But when you are debating and the temperature is very high, you most likely spontaneously react.
Okay.
It's part of it.
Right.
But it's something that I believe can be better.
Okay.
But it's often controlled by the speaker who would, gavel and order the others to calm down.
Okay.
You know, because you are facing them.
Right.
You know, so it comes natural. But I think that those viewing don't know what is happening because the cameras will not capture the other side shouting. So they would capture your side raising your voice. I think it is fair point he has raised, wherever it is. And I'm sure we would have to take it up with Speaker and ensuring that the other side, I mean both sides, especially our backbench, are controlled. I'm sure it comes from both sides. But also, it's something that you can't help it.
Absolutely,
you know, you're a politician. Some of these things come up. You know.
So who is this Kweku Zadok? I hope I got that correctly. Kweku Zadok. He says, ask him why he couldn't advise former President Akufo-Addo as he's doing now. He's a very intelligent man. Or he's very intelligent in opposition. That's a Kweku Zadok. Wants to know that all this fantastic, nice ideas that you be sharing. Why didn't you advise Akufo-Addo?
I don't know the thrust of his question, but you see, when you are in government, you don't come to the public space to advise your government. I wish Nana-Addo placed a camera in his cabinet. I wish that at least one day be Anka Ghana fuhun how Nana-Addo's cabinet was. Bro, the few months I sat in cabinet, it wasn't a one-man show. You bring a policy, you have to defend it. People will critique, would ask questions. It wasn't that it is an MPP gathering. But you see, these are not things that the outsider sees. In opposition, you are not part of the government. When you get the opportunity to meet government, you can sell certain ideas to them privately. But otherwise, you make known your views public. You get what I mean? So, yes, he's asking a very fair question. But politically, it will not be desirable that you are a majority leader and you choose the media to advise your government. And then also, you cannot come public and say to the public what you found wrong and correct it.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
Right.
That's not how
a
political system operates.
I think the point you're also making is that your job would just to be advised, but the president takes the final decision.
No, I don't want us.
Is that what you're saying?
I don't want us to.
But you've had engagement.
I don't.
Did you have let's rather put it this way. Did you have quality engagement with Akufo-Addo when he was president, even as majority leader?
His entire cabinet had quality engagement.
And you were a member of the cabinet.
I'm saying
because at the time you also doubled as the minister for.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
you
were not
take
a minister. Okay,
I'm
just
saying
a majority leader.
That
but
in
you were a member of parliament. Were you a cabinet member?
I was.
Okay.
I'm saying that in Akufo-Addo's government, we had quality debates at cabinet, and those who were in before me made same testimony before I joined. Same.
Were you ever offered any ministerial appointment?
I don't want to discuss that. Let's move on.
Why didn't you accept?
Let's answer the other questions.
Why didn't you accept? Why did you choose to just be a majority leader even though you were offered any ministerial appointment?
Let's just answer some questions from there.
All right. Let's go to the next question from Kweku. Oh, the same Kweku Zadok. He says, is the minority seat now spiritually good? Oh, I get the
Oh, no, I won't say him. It's okay, it's good. I mean, so Kweku, good question. You know, I was a majority leader and Speaker declared my side as minority. And then our friends in NDC rushed to sit on our chair. And I said, well, if you are majority leader, it will be spiritually unwise for you to go and sit on the seat as minority. If you are minority, that is your bona fide, sit there. So it shouldn't be taken out of context. I was majority leader. How do you come rush to take my seat and say I should go and sit somewhere?
Okay.
It's not right. So it was a fact of the situation, and that was my response to it.
It looks like Kweku Zadok has hijacked our show.
That's okay. Let him bring his.
When will the privilege committee meet on his 2 referrals?
Oh, they have lost their case. Kweku, they have lost their case. They didn't have a case. Out for the first one, the Honorable Muntaka has withdrawn. The second one is withdrawn. Out for the first one, I am waiting for them. But I think they don't have a case.
Okay, so Frederick Sefaji, I hope I got the pronunciation correct.
So the NDC people have unleashed their people to come and respond. That's good.
How do you know his NDC?
Oh, but I'm a
how does the minority plan to come back into power in the upcoming 2028 elections?
Hard work. Rebranding, re-strategizing, letting Ghanaians know the good things we did in power, looking at the issues in a manner that the ordinary Ghanaian would appreciate the fact that we are better than NDC, and few other things that I'm sure, led by the flag bearers' vision, will be able to put across.
Okay. Now, Siddiq wants to know when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be meeting the press after winning to lead the NPP. He says we have a lot of questions on the economy for him. He continues to say that also ask him that if this government should continue with the good works they are doing compared to their past government, should we still vote this government out? That's from Siddiq. That's the first question. And Idi Muhaideen, not Idi Muhaideen, but Idi Mukhtari says, ask Afenyomakin if he knows we're having a nation to build first and foremost. Why is it that his side doesn't see anything good about the current government, and that matter always opposes everything and instigating cross-section against the government? Also tell him that he has been provoking most Ghanaians populace. Hence, he's not a good minority leader, and that nobody will take any moral advice from the minority leader. He and his people should learn to know.
I think we've been very.
Let me. Okay, so take this one, and then I'll take the next one. Yes. Please go ahead.
I think we've been very constructive in our dealings with national issues. I mean, any objective person would come to that conclusion that this is a very robust, hardworking minority in Parliament, trying to raise the issues on the minds of Ghanaians. For instance, if you look at rice production, the Akufo-Addo's policy was to encourage local production of rice. When NDC was in opposition, they told us that when they come into office, they will allow the head teachers themselves to buy foodstuff from the market. Today, what do we see? Buffer Stock Company is still doing what we were doing that they criticized. Meanwhile, Buffer Stock is buying rice from imported rice. They should go to the north. They will go to the rice farmers. Maybe they are not listening. They should.
But we had the president directly.
No, it's expensive. No, they are not doing it. It's expensive to buy locally produced rice than imported rice.
You mean the imported ones are cheaper?
Yes. So that is why the people are buying. So there is no support for them. These are issues we've raised. You get my point?
Okay.
So they should also be careful how they hurriedly condemn the issues we raise.
Okay.
We have been very constructive. We have raised the issues, and we want a better Ghana.
Okay.
The fact that we are in opposition does not mean that we should expect a doomsday. It's their own words. NDC is their own big talk on LGBT, on Russia, Ukraine. Today they are talking about Middle East war, but they never gave Akufo-Addo the chance. Even when Akufo-Addo introduced free SHS, they condemned it. They never supported the free SHS. They never saw anything good in it. They should tell me a single thing that Akufo-Addo did that they praise him for.
Okay.
Electricity tariffs were reduced by Akufo-Addo's government. Check PURC website 2018.
Okay.
Today, in less than a year, just after a year, we have had electricity tariffs going up by 28%. The 1 cedi per liter at our pumps. When they said they were taking away the levies, that e-levy is gone, but they took away e-levy and brought Doomsday levy. They took away e-levy and introduced 28% electricity tariff increase. They took away e-levy and they scrapped the flat rate in the VAT system and increased it to 20%.
Let me bring in Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm. He says, please ask Honorable. He says, good morning. It says, is it true that he spoke against the act of reparations or he was misquoted? And again, was he entitled to his view or it was the views representing the minority as a whole? And also, what is his view of President Nana Akufo-Addo and President Kufuor coming out publicly to endorse reparations of slave trade? And will he accept this morning on the platform that he was wrong by his actions or he still stands by it? More, is it true that once upon a time he ran into some business issues with the NDC government then, but those business issues was resolved by John Mahama as vice president then, back in the day? Alhaji Hamza wants to know from Pig Farm.
Okay. So, Alhaji, on the reparation issue, I support the idea that we need the reparation. The resolution as passed. I think I stated that on the floor. What I said, which many people got wrong, was the very idea that the slave trade, we cannot also blame the white man alone. Because when they came and they were chasing our own compatriots in the hinterland, our people also acted as agents. So we should also condemn and show love as blacks. We should love one another. Demonstrate that love. Because you see, if you leave your food uncovered, vultures would come and pick them, right? So that was a two-way argument. The maltreatment, the inhumane treatment, the abuse, the rape, the forced labor on plantation, giving rise to this resolution, I am in full support. Again, fundamentally, the conduct of some of the trade agents who were also blacks going to arrest people in their homes at midnight in the years gone by must also be condemned. That was the thrust of my argument.
Sure.
And I've not changed that.
All right.
The other issue about, he talked about President Mahama.
Yeah.
Yes, in 2000, I started my mining support business, the logistics business in Awaso, somewhere 2003, 2004. And I recall when NDC came into office, you know, I'd imported some trucks, mammoth trailers from Dubai.
Okay.
About 30 of them. And some thought that I deliberately, you know, painted them with the mammoth. You know, mammoth is an elephant.
Yes.
But that is the name of the company that manufactured the trailers. So they used Axilode to stop my trucks. And it was quite frustrating. So I said this publicly, that my partner had to go to the Vice President, John Dramani Mahama, as he then was, to complain that, look, this thing that the party boys were doing, attacking our business, was bad, because we were doing, had to pay our bank loan. You know, and I recall the president making a call to those who were doing that nonsense to stop. So that's a fact.
Okay. Now, this one here from Prof. Ali Nachia.
Yes, my senior at the law school.
Yes, he's actually watching the show, and he says that more of such engagements are very necessary, and I share his views and expositions on the local content issues and challenges. But he also says very productive and insightful discussions with Honorable Afenyomo Akin. Kudos. He's enjoying the
I is a tax expert. I would have, senior, I would have loved to hear your views on this VAT system. You know, because when we met with Guta, Guta complained about the VAT regime. And then Employers Association repeated same. And then AGI also expressed similar concerns. According to them, the level of consultation was next to nothing. And rather, it is after the law was passed that they set up a working committee or so. But they don't see it as effective. According to them, again, government promised that during the media review, they may look into their concerns. But you see, I would do. Again, this is where sometimes our friends get it wrong. I wish you could play my debates right here. I wish you could get my debate on the VAT. Honorable Ampim, the Deputy Finance Minister, said it on the House floor that the new law would not increase tax. That it would even make it better. But trust me, that was not what we heard. My wife deals in drinks. And she was used to this flat system. She comes home and says, honey, them law na mako pass over Parliament. No, no, they are input and output. What I say?
Okay.
Auntie I say.
All right.
So it means that what it means, I would do. What it means that a lot of traders will now do their invoicing without the VAT because they don't understand, and government will be losing revenue.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Right.
So, seniorly, I wish we can have some very independent opinion on this tax VAT reform so that, you know,
so Professor Lee is back. He says, sure, Honorable, I understand reviews are still ongoing and engagements will be required as you have proposed. Stakeholder engagement is a crucial tax policy step, and your call and those of GUTA are good to be heeded. So he thinks that it's a good call.
At least from an independent, objective
exactly.
expert.
Tax expert.
If we are talking about 3 tax experts in Ghana today, you can't leave Senior Lee Nach's name out.
Not at all. Now,
so the people, the NDC food soldiers who have been unleashed on this program should know that we speak with facts. And they can spend their whole period fact checking. I in particular, things that I say, my colleagues, what they say, and they realize that we don't just blow hot air.
That's fine.
We may get it wrong sometimes, but largely
we've run out of time. So
we deal with the issues. You know,
so this one, Mark Kojoboafo says, good morning, Moro. Please tell the minority leader that apologies. Mark Kojoboafo.
Mark,
from America. Yes, he watches us every day. He says, please tell minority leader that apologies in politics is super tricky. On one hand, apologizing can show accountability, empathy, and a willingness to make things right. It can also help heal wounds and rebuild trust. On the other hand, apologies can also be seen as an admission of guilt or weakness, potentially harming a politician's image or career. Why did he apologize to Muntaka after coming out so strongly about the security recruitment in the presence of the president in Parliament, which is Sona? That was a misstep, and he should watch his informants before he accuses anyone wrongly. In the whole, he is a great leader.
Okay, could you let me hold on? This is very important before you go to the next one. You see, when context is misunderstood, as a leader, your responsibility in compromising does not make you weak. You see, Kojo, play my voice on what I said at the Sona and play the words I used on that day. Look, Muntaka is a senior colleague. He's a sector minister. When it comes to you, he said, look, leader, what you said, the public has misconstrued that against my person. Look, I have a duty to say, look, bro, let's watch the video again. It is not you. I didn't say you. But if the perception out there is you, let me use a platform to clarify. You get what I mean? So these are things that you do, but it doesn't make you weak. But it is to be fair, because he's a sector minister. And he says that, oh, the statement I made has been misconstrued to mean he is corrupt. I said, no. Wait. I said that if he had that impression or that impression has been created, then I followed with the necessary.
I get it.
So, Kojo, I think I am careful with language. And I always say that I'm not perfect. I can get it wrong. But when I'm choosing my words, I choose them carefully and I'm deliberate about the words that I use So once he came and said, look, there's a perception out there, knowing also that we live in a perception-driven space.
Right.
If there's a perception that the statement was directed at his person, it is only fair that I do the needful. That's exactly what I did.
So Manche Bruce says, I admire the consistency, diligence, perseverance, and resilience demonstrated by Honorable Alfredo Mark in his capacity as minority leader, particularly in light of the significant numerical disparity between the minority and the majority in Parliament. I'll be grateful to know how he manages his official responsibilities in his dealings with colleagues across the House, both within parliamentary proceedings and in private engagement outside Parliament. Manche Bruce II in Takrady. And then Carlos from Odudu, he says that, please, can you ask the minority leader if he is the same person who sent a winning picture claiming it was from Ghana's Volta region, when in fact it turned out to be from Sierra Leone? If that is the case, how does he expect us to believe what he's saying now? And that does he have a track record of not telling us the truth, many of which we can clearly point out and even enumerate with such history? Yes, Carlos from Odudu. With such history, on what basis should the public accept his current claims? That's from Carlos. Just do this in a minute, please.
These are very important questions.
Yes.
Please, I would do.
Yes.
Give it weight. I mean, when people are asking very important questions, we need to spend time to address. And I'm happy with this.
Our next guest is ready. He should have been here 30 minutes ago.
Then you shouldn't have ready.
No problem. Okay.
Play with me,
do this, but try and do it briefly, I beg you.
Oh, no. I can't be brief. We can suspend.
So
but because it's an important question, so production team should allow space.
So he says, please dash in for 5 minutes.
So I need to understand. In the 8th Parliament, there was this issue of sun winning in Keta. And this tidal waves and how sun winning was contributing to the tidal waves and its effects on the populace. That at least the tidal waves will come, but if sun winning was also stopped, at least people would have some space and all. Now, in my research, I depended on the views of the assemblyman of the area who had said publicly, the municipal assembly has set up a task force, are dependent on 3 research findings from professors in Lagos. And all of those stated that sun winning was affecting the people and that is making the situation worse off. Now, it is also true that in the presser, the pictures that were shown, one of them, the research that we quoted, and we quoted from a source, the researcher had used that picture as a cover page on the internet. So when we printed all the pictures and quoted all the reports, but one of them did not use the right picture. So when we raised all of them, it was Joy FM that did the fact check and came out with a report that no, one of the pictures was not Keta. Quickly, the source pulled down the picture. One of the sources that we depended on pulled down the picture. So, if my source has pulled down the picture, what am I supposed to do? It was only fair. But that did not make the findings wrong because the issue was about the sun winning. So I think that, is it Carlos did it?
Carlos.
So Carlos should also understand that in context.
Okay.
But you see, unlike some of their colleagues who, when they even get it wrong, they will say that, oh, they did it for the party. And they boldly go out there to defend it. That's not my nature.
Okay.
Look, you run a governance system. You run a political system where you must concede when even you get it 1% wrong or there is a strong disagreement and you know that, oh, indeed, it's only fair. If you want to say you disagree with everybody, then you want to say you are a perfectionist. So everything, you would not accept it.
Okay.
And how do you grow?
All right.
You only grow when you accept where there is an error.
True.
And move on from there and make life better.
That's fine.
So mine is to do get it right.
Okay.
You know, and ensure that in this engagement we don't go personal.
Okay.
Make enemies.
All right.
And hurt people just because you are doing politics.
Okay.
We may hurt people, but it won't be deliberate.
All right. Honorable, thank you very much. We've done almost 2 hours. Yeah, unbelievable. I think it's the longest interview you've ever had since you became minority leader. And we've set the records here on the Good Morning Ghana platform. We've had a minority leader here from minority leader in Parliament. He's been here since 7:30 and it's almost 9:30. In fact, it's actually 9:30, 2 hours non-stop interview. There's quite a number of other questions that I want to ask him. But we also have another guest who was supposed to have been here at 8:30, and I want to apologize to him. I'm talking about Mr. Joe Jackson, who is the
That's
chief.
my uncle.
That's your uncle.
So if I'm wrong, it can only be my.
Yes,
that's my direct uncle.
Okay.
Not
okay.
In Chen.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, so Mr. Joe Jackson.
He's not a politician.
No, he's not a politician. He manages a firm.
Maybe ask him about the tax system, the VAT.
Yes, it'll be interesting to find out from him. Yes, very important.
I want to hear Uncle's views on VAT.
Yes. All right, thank you. Alex, thank you so very much. He's the minority leader in Parliament, 4th term member of Parliament for the people of Ifutu. Thank you very much, Alex. Stay with us. Joe Jackson is up next.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey,
Where your label today be?
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Wabedum Tamasun. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwema besisia. Abozing. Akache say no ya konati and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old dish. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Eji. Hey, baby wom. Ah, Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral?
Say a pessary insecticide GB at a user. Co pharmacy in a shop biamu. Na mum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu to a cotonwa. On for Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. Effie spray with daimwa. Chansima a dronu and sana a radine. In Kratui FDA Ajatum.
Ghana me chechi ya woni nara me din eje baby dapa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya odi to aduane mu ama waduane e dapa na me de bremo eno any some spices dey emu wa no bebre o various flavors ubenya eya akoko ubenya nantwie ye di gu jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya ye di gu nkwan mu ye di gu froye mu ho na kope bito na ema waduane enye de unye minia ye nkon ye konko tie nyankofo eka
Utando ye communication to ni all enjoy uduba that Samu spices. One in the essence to hi. Shitiki Lariaga. Samu spices in a sabi daddy so say. Samu spices. Mun Samu spices. Nyama chicken.
Samu spices.
In Sanaka in Kitwa, measure 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors of Bebre.
Samu spices. Yes, Saka.
FDAJ Jadien Kratoyatum.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Chechi ya woni nara me din eje baby dapa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya odi to aduane mu ama waduane e dapa na me de bremo eno any some spices dey emu wa no bebre o various flavors ubenya eya akoko ubenya nantwie ye di gu jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya ye di gu nkwan mu ye di gu froye mu ho na kope bito na ema waduane enye de unye minia ye nkon ye konko tie nyankofo eka
Utando ye communication to ni all enjoy uduba that Samu spices. One in the essence to hi. Shitiki Lariaga. Samu spices in a sabi daddy so say. Samu spices. Mun Samu spices. Nyama chicken.
Samu spices.
In Sanaka in Kitwa, measure 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors of Bebre.
Samu spices. Yes, Saka.
FDAJ Jadien Kratoyatum.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson. Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend me Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friend me once now.
Hey, is that
you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Maybe Sasso spray. My friend is Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso. Come on, Tom Preco.
Hey, Bunty, why you there? What lie tell I today go give you my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba un 17 and dede baby. Scan on ASA. 500 cities per.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry, Manua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with One Shot. Visit the Wanna Own website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select One Shot game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cities.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go to buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
Baby.
Boom!
You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. So just gone by having an interaction with the minority leader that Alexander Penyo marking, and also an MP for a Futu. That's a special edition of Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. As you do know, on Good Morning Ghana, we typically would do a newspaper review for about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the nature of the conversation. But again, on holidays, occasionally we'll bring in persons who, you know, typically do not find the time, or we don't even invite them to join the show, because it's typically an MPP NDC conversation where the issues are debated and so on and so forth. But we take advantage of these holidays to invite people who also have, we'll call them invite critical voices to come and share their thoughts on some issues that are of national importance and of course national concern. So today we have a man who is a very good friend of the media. When it comes to his media, his human relations, media relations, excellent. But also when it comes to his public speaking, excellent. When it comes to his managerial abilities, he's super excellent. And he's a man whose voice carries a lot of weight. Ghanaians listen to him. Decisions are taken based on some of the things that he says. And not all politicians like him. If you want the truth, you'll be his friend. If you want lies, you will not be his friend. If you want somebody who speaks truth to power, that's the man I'm talking about. He's called Mr. Joe Jackson. He heads a very, very, very reputable institution called the Dalex Finance, and he's taking time off his very, very busy schedule. I mean, typically on a Monday holiday, he should be spending some time with the friends or family, but he says I will be here when we invited him, and so he's here. Why is he here? He's here because the world is at war. When I say the world is at war, Middle East, there's a Middle East crisis. We know that Iran has come up against America and Israel on one side, and there has been all kinds of destructions and bombardment and so on and so forth. America says it wants things done differently in Iran, and to do that, you need to get the leadership of Iran out of the way. But that hasn't happened, and it's going to get the world talking and asking what really is the real motive for engaging in this war with Iran. Iran says, well, we may not be at par with you when it comes to weapons and ammunitions and so on, but we have a soft power and we will use it. We'll leverage on that soft power. What is that soft power? We decided to close a narrow pathway through which ships that load oil, and I'm talking about, crude oil, they use that narrow path to some other countries and, discharge discharge the commodity. They've closed it. And now they're determining who can use that path to whichever destination they have in mind. And America and the world is suffering for that. Is distracting the global economy. And here in Ghana, as you do know, price of fuel has gone up. And we all know what the attendant difficulties are usually when prices of fuel goes up. But he says, but Joe Jackson tells me there's one other thing that perhaps Ghanaians are not really, or the government and perhaps Ghanaians are not really taking a critical look at. He says it's about food. All in all of this, how does it impact on the food that you and I eat? That's where he comes in. He's also my guest. He's my guest on Good Morning Ghana. Now, he has an article. An article which is entitled "From Hormuz to," and it's from Hormuz to Ho: How a Gulf War Could Raise Ghana's Food Prices. Very interesting article, which has actually been published in the BNFT as well. Mr. Joe Jackson, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you join us.
Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you.
I listened to your interview of Honorable Afenya Maki.
Yes.
I come from Winneba.
Oh, okay.
Yes, my roots are from his constituency.
Efutu. Okay.
So he's both my MP.
Okay.
And he's my nephew.
Interesting.
His mother is my first cousin. When I mean first cousin,
direct. So this is family man. That's a family man you're talking
today
about.
you seem to have honed on to the Efutu constituency.
Yeah.
For good morning.
For very good reasons. For very good reasons. He is the minority leader.
Yes.
So not only just his capacity as MP, but he's a minority leader.
Yeah.
I mean, in the scheme of things, he's a very important man.
No.
And so we decided to give him some time. But we also want to use this occasion to unapologetically, unconditionally, unreservedly apologize to you. This conversation with you was supposed to have started at 8:30. We're starting the conversation at 9:50. It tells you how much time we've had to ask you to spend just being here. And apparently you've been here since 8. So we can only say, Yapawacho.
Oh, no.
We're so sorry.
Let's move
But the
on.
only good thing is that the man who took about an hour of your time is your family man. So this one, if you've exited us.
He did the family side.
Big Joe, so everybody's talking about first of all, before we get into the substance of the crux of the issue or why you're here, is Easter. You have any reflections you want to share with us?
Easter is a good time, and apart from being the most important dates on the Christian calendar, Easter is also a time where typically we spend with family and friends.
Right.
But for me, the biggest lesson of Easter is actually forgiveness. As a Christian, I like to recall that Christ on the cross said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." When in a lot of ways, what had been done to him was unforgivable. So I think if there's any message for this Easter and almost every Easter, is that going to Easter, forgiving everybody who's wronged you and move on. And that is critical. Christ said, "Forgive them," and they had done unimaginable things to him. And so, hey, my resolution, and forgiveness is tough, man. If there's anything that is tough, is to forgive somebody who's, sometimes the worst part is that it's not even wronged you in the past. He continues to wrong you, and yet you have to forgive. So this Easter, if there's any message I have, forgive, move on. I love Nelson Mandela's quote. He says, "An unforgiven heart, bitterness, is like drinking poison and expecting your abuser to die."
Wow. That's deep.
That's deep, yes. It's like you drinking the poison and expecting the person who's abusing you to die.
So you hear some people say, I have forgiven you, but I've not forgotten.
But remember, forgiveness is not about saying it did not happen. That's not it. Forgiveness is not about saying it didn't hurt. Forgiveness is not about saying that throw it away. Forgiveness is that I make a conscious effort to expunge from my heart the bitterness, to expunge from my heart the hurt, so that I can move forward. I can forgive you without you ever contributing to it. I can forgive you even if you continue. So, forgetting, and remember, forgiveness is not also an invitation to come and walk over me again. So, I may forgive you. I will expunge, and it's a deliberate choice to expunge the hurt from my heart. But I may not forget because I don't want you to walk over me again.
My difficulty, Mr. Joe Jackson, is that we celebrate these festive occasions which are grounded in religious doctrines, but we rarely do take the values away. We rarely do take the values with us. It's more celebratory.
Well, the celebration is important.
Because today, somebody's still beefing with somebody else. The person's not forgotten.
Yeah.
And forgiving.
Sometimes
forgiving the person.
People in the hierarchy of Christendom.
Yes.
Yes. But
so why do we celebrate these things when we're not
celebrate
prepared?
Also because
yes,
it marks another year of life. See, part of the reason why we celebrate is that last year Easter I was alive.
Yes.
Another Easter has come.
Yes, but I'm saying that beyond being alive, there are values and principles that these occasions are supposed to teach us or to remind us of.
Yeah.
So if we just say we're alive, and so it doesn't, so what? It doesn't matter whether you forgive or forget. It doesn't matter whether you're generous or wicked. It doesn't matter whether you're an honest person, whether you're an obedient person. What are we doing with these values? We get a point I'm making.
Yes.
What conscious efforts are religious leaders making to ensure that beyond the partying because you're alive and kicking, which is great because you have to be alive to forgive and forget. You know what I mean?
If you are dead,
you
can't forgive.
Yes. When I'm saying that, when you are alive and kicking, how do we get these important concepts to be, you know what I mean, ingrained in you, such that there and there you say, well, I had an issue with you, but we are in an Easter or festive season, we're in an Easter season, so I've forgiven you. Then that's proper celebration of the occasion. You don't agree?
I wish it was that simple.
Okay.
First of all, as religious leaders, a lot of them are going to go when we're in church on Friday, and we're in church on Sunday yesterday, and I'm delivering a message of the values of Easter.
Yes.
And as human beings, that's why we're human beings.
Yes.
We listen, but otherwise we won't be human beings. Being human is striving for improvement. It's a journey. As a Muslim, it's a journey. As a Christian, it's a journey. It's to rise up above your base human instincts. And our base human instinct says, I won't forgive. You see what I'll do to you. But that's a base human instinct. So rising above it. So all we can ask our leaders to do, speak about it, teach about it. And in a lot of ways, you, the leader, live it so that you will set as the right example.
Yeah, because leadership must set the right tone, right?
That's it.
Okay. The next food crisis in Ghana may begin thousands of miles away in a narrow stretch of water between Iran and Oman. The Strait of Hormuz is not a place most Ghanaian consumers think about while buying tomatoes at the market or bread from a neighborhood bakery. Yet roughly 1/5 of the world's oil passes through this narrow maritime corridor. When tensions escalate there, the consequences ripple across global energy markets, shipping routes or routes, and depending whether America or British, and insurance costs, and eventually they arrive in Ghana's food markets. If the current geopolitical confrontation between the United States, Israel, and Iran were to evolve into a prolonged disruption of shipping through Hormuz, the effect would not first appear as a dramatic shortage of food in Ghana. The more likely outcome is something subtler, but economically powerful. A surge in food prices driven by energy and logistics costs rather than agricultural scarcity. What are you suggesting?
First of all, I put this together some 2 weeks ago. And I was scared. Scared because I like the new language that they've been using in the US. I didn't see an off-ramp. They call it an off-ramp. And it's supposed a way in which Trump and the US government and Israel could get off the highway they are on. And I was scared. And if anything, I'm even more scared today than I was 2 weeks ago. Because I love this Akan proverb. You know I love Akan proverbs. I'll say it in Akan, then I will translate it. Ketsu nkezi moko ma atwer into mfifir. It says, Ketsu, that's the lizard. The lizard goes to eat pepper. And the frog starts to sweat. The US, Israel go and they go and misbehave in Iran. And then you and I sitting here, what have we done? We start to sweat. The truth of the matter is this. The Hormuz Strait, narrow strip of land, almost nobody before this war, nobody had heard of it. It controls 20% of energy exports.
True.
That's not just that. It is in proximity to all the Gulf states. So when you start talking about all the Gulf states, start thinking, plastics come to the Gulf state, isn't it? We've already heard that plastics are in short supply, and pure water and they're saying they will increase the price of water. Fertilizer. When the Ukraine war started, we shifted fertilizer production to the Gulf. It ain't gonna come. We are in planting season. There's gonna be a shortage of fertilizer. Then think about it. This is going to affect, one, all shipping costs in multiple ways. One, if they don't go through the Hormuz Straits, they'll take a longer route. And so the basic cost of shipping a container of anything or a tanker of anything is going to go up. Two, it's not just that. Because of the war, insurance costs have gone through the roof. So your shipping and your shipping costs have gone up. Your insurance costs have gone up. Your fuel costs have gone up. And you are getting a dangerous, inflammable combo. Now let's come to Ghana. Food. What does Hormuz? Yeah. The cost of food in the retail market is anything up to 40% the price of logistics. The cost of transporting anything, any food item to Ghana is up to 40% logistics cost. Farm gate to market. Let's start with the easy one, the imported produce. Of course, if shipping costs go higher, other costs go higher, we can't get, of course, it's going to go higher. But even more scary, let's talk about local costs. If the cost of transporting a tuber of yam from Techiman to Agbobulushi is about the cost of transportation. We've already gone from 14 to 17 cedis a liter of diesel and rising. That's a problem. And it's not going to be about the scarcity of yam. It's going to be simply the first issue is going to be simply the cost, the logistic cost of transporting yam from Techiman to Aboblushi in the example I used, or in use any other example. So all of a sudden, I'm saying that we are going to be caught between this double whammy, where imported food is expensive, and even our local food is expensive. To make it worse, throw in fertilizer shortages. Then, just maybe that the effect of low food inflation that has fed through to the point where we're now talking about inflation around 3% plus.
Yeah.
We're going to get a huge input shock that will drive prices high. That will make life a lot more difficult for you, because all of a sudden the cost of transporting corn from the market, from the farm gate to the market, is going to go up. So your kenke will be impacted. And you see, embedded in everything we eat is a cost of logistics.
True.
In significant quantities, because of also the bad state of our infrastructure. Our roads are bad. Also because we don't have bulk transportation facilities. So what do? We transport everything through the roads. No rail. Very poor inland transport. Those things that could cushion the price changes are not there. Every single drop of fuel is transported last mile with a tanker. Every single drop of food comes on a mammy truck. Every single imported item, even when it gets from the high seas into the harbor, still goes out on a truck, on bad roads. We are in trouble. And so, and I coined the phrase from Hormuz to Ho because it was just funny.
Yeah.
But we are potentially facing a period of increased costs. Let me give you an example of what was even scary at the time I was writing.
Right.
Burkina was at the time threatening to stop us importing
tomatoes. Yes.
What did that mean? It means we're going to conflate this shortage of tomatoes, the basic item in almost every meal in Ghana, our national favorite meal, the jollof, is chock full of tomatoes and tomato paste. And we're going to get to a point where tomatoes won't come. And when you slap on the fact that there's a shortage of tomatoes, you slap that onto the increase in logistics, even for locally and other imported tomatoes, we're going to face a significant tomato price shock. The good thing is that there's been a U-turn from Burkina, but we're yet to see whether that U-turn will come into effect or it will mean the flood of imports may be reduced to a trickle. Anything that causes a shortage of food in Ghana is going to be accelerated, right, by this latest Gulf War. So we should be scared. And in fact, the way to look at for inflation is look at the markets. See how food prices are being affected. You see, Ghana, food is everything. I don't have food in my belly. Life is, I don't look at rent first. Look at food. Food is where you start to see the effect of these fuel prices. Then we start to get worried. Remember that we burn a lot of fuel to generate electricity now. You're already complaining about the price of electricity. Shine your eye. I'm sorry I sound so pessimistic on a day we should be celebrating.
Well, you know, you talked about 40% of the cost of items that we buy and on the shelves, whether imported or locally sourced.
Up to 40%.
Up to 40%.
The logistic cost.
Logistics cost, which is logistics and transport.
Yes. logistics, transport, whether it's the cost from importing from rice from Thailand, or is the cost of transporting yam from Tichiman to Agbeblushi.
Now, this 40%, if you take the 40% as 100%, what it means is that it's going to go up to about 120%. What I'm trying to say is that the 40% off, so if I buy this, I'm buying this pen for say 100 cedis.
Yes.
It should have been 60 cedis, but for logistics and transport and other, cost.
Yes.
But that 40% is now going to go up.
That 40% is going to go up.
Based on the price of a very important commodity, which is crude oil, or let's say petrol.
Not just petrol,
and then
all
also
the ancillary issues.
items. But these items that we're talking about are imported in dollars. We convert CDs into dollars and then we buy these items. But the dollar has been, the CD has been relatively stable. Isn't that something that should at least make us feel a bit comfortable?
If you look at the article, I actually looked at 3 periods.
Yes.
The first 30 days,
yes,
nothing much will happen. This next 30 days, that means 60 days of the war.
Yes.
And then you start to feel the impact.
Right. The real impact.
The real impact. And if that war and the Hormuz Strait stayed closed for 90 days, then, as they say in our local,
it doesn't look like this war is going to end anytime soon.
No, it doesn't. And that's why, yesterday...
Because egos are at play.
Yeah, egos, not just egos. Yesterday, I read on the news, international news, that President Trump had issued an expletive full of F words and F bombs.
Yes.
Threats.
You haven't seen that tweet?
I've seen it. That's why I read it.
I thought it was a little unpresidential.
Unpresidential. And then I don't know what he was trying to achieve with even the last part of the message.
Yeah, but he's
talking about Allah. Was he mocking their faith? No. I mean, what are you trying to do? Get people even more angry than they are already?
Yeah, but he sounds frustrated, Big J.
But he caused it. As I said, we're sitting in our corner. You and I, we're sitting in our corner, enjoying some small relief of inflation. Fuel has come down. Life is hard, but we are bobbing and weaving along, and we are cool.
This is what has happened.
All this tends to explode everything.
The irony, though, that he's trying to get the Hormuz Strait open, but the Hormuz Strait was open before he decided to bomb Iran.
Thank you.
So what have we done?
And you see, what a lot of people don't realize is that Hormuz Strait is not going to be opened unless Iran says it is open. You know why? Even if Iran fires one drone and it hits one ship, who's going to take that risk?
Nobody.
Nobody.
And that's why the cost of freight is going up. Insurance is going up.
Nobody's not.
Because it's riskier.
It's just risky. So Iran doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is, if you like, try it. All Iran has to do, and you know that all he has to do is to get one drone to hit your ship full of fuel.
Trump says he wants to take over the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, he can try. He can try.
That's all you want to say.
No, he can try. You see,
he says he wants to take over the Strait of Hormuz.
You can't. You sit in the U.S. and you say you want to take over somebody's land.
It's not right.
Somebody's. Let me tell you what scares me about Trump these days. So, assuming that our own president, Mahama, said something that Trump doesn't like, doesn't mean Trump can send some planes down to Ghana and do to him what he did to Venezuela.
Yes.
That's scary. He's my president. Even if he's not good, he's mine. He's not yours. You don't have any right.
Well, he's done it in Venezuela.
He's done it in Venezuela. And he's
They've done it in Iraq.
You know what he did in Iraq? It's like they sent bombs and finished off cabinet and half of parliament.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
But that's America's modus operandi. I mean, they
For
won't
now,
change.
all of us are in shock. Is this the America we thought of? I can't recognize the America, today's America. But back to, the key thing is that if this continues, we will feel the effects.
Yeah.
If this continues, our food security will be at risk. If this continues, we will feel the pain where it hurts in our pockets.
The president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it must have been at the Kweo Business Forum, or when he was at the Lighthouse Chapel, that he was Mill Sisley, where he delivered a very powerful speech. He talks about summoning an emergency cabinet meeting to look into what options are on the table. You have talked about it in your article where you say why fuel policy alone is not enough.
It's not enough.
In the face of such a shock, governments understandably turn to familiar tools such as fuel price stabilization or temporary tax relief on petroleum products. These measures can be useful in cushioning the immediate impact of rising energy costs, but they cannot fully neutralize the underlying problem. How do you mean?
Okay. Let's take our own situation, Ghana. 22, 23, 24, we were in crisis. 25, after February, we started showing discipline. The markets reacted favorably. Inflation reacted favorably. The exchange rate reacted favorably. Root cause, discipline, and favorable winds from the price of gold, etc. As we sit, two headwinds we face. One, the price of gold is not going where we expected to go. Why? Because the same gold Gulf states who used to buy the gold and keep the price high, what are they doing? They are actually dumping gold from their reserves. So gold price, instead of going up in this period and helping us cushion, is not going as high as it could. Number two, discipline. We cannot dump our discipline just to cushion the effect. Because when you dump that discipline, the markets will react. The exchange rate will react. And all of a sudden, we'll be between a rock and a very hard place. To keep that discipline, it means that we must not be in a hurry to take away the taxes, etc. Because if we do so too quickly, too rapidly, there will be no cash. We'll be back to my famous old mantra. But Ghana will be broke again.
Yeah, but Joe, it is also a fact that we're making some windfalls from the surge in oil prices, aren't we? We're making a lot of money. We're selling oil for $65. Now oil is going for $109 or $119 or so. No, $109. Yes. Oh, that's windfall.
Moro.
So gain some, lose some.
Yes, but Moro, slow down.
Okay.
Slow down a little bit.
All right.
You see, for every dollar of oil we export,
yes,
my best guess estimate is that we keep 35%.
True.
Right?
True.
Okay. You know what that means? For every dollar of oil we export, we leak out 65%.
Yes.
So you export $100 of oil.
Yes.
Your usable FX, the one that you've retained, that you keep, is just 35.
Yes.
Now, usable FX is what you go and use to import fuel products. Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to export not just 35, not just 100, not just 200, 300, $400 of barrels of oil.
Yes.
Before you get $35, you get enough of around $100 plus.
So your point is that when you net it off, we're still at it.
The cushioning effect is not that great.
great.
And it is not that great because we don't retain enough of our oil export ends in Ghana.
But how? Where does the 65 go?
Moro, don't start me off on this.
No, but that's a revelation.
It is a revelation.
We're exporting
for every $100.
We only get 35.
We only get $35, and that's the best guess estimate.
But where's the 65? Where is it going?
It stays outside.
How?
It stays outside because number one, our royalties are low. It stays outside because number two, we don't keep we don't enforce the local content laws. So the amount of money that is given to Ghanaian contractors is low. Number three, we don't have JVs. So
as in joint ventures?
Yes. So everything goes out. And they repatriate this legally through profit goes out. They repatriate this legally through contracts given to outsiders rather than Ghanaians. They repatriate this legally because it's the name of the game.
Yeah, but have you also thought about what it takes for these companies to come and work at the upstream sector?
I'm not disputing that.
Yes.
I'm just
so
saying.
It's legitimate.
It's our fault. You know why I say it's
How?
our fault? Yes.
We haven't built capacity.
We haven't built the capacity. We have not been deliberate about increasing technical capacity so that our local content laws can legitimately be met.
Yeah, but that's what GMPC is supposed to be doing. Well, that's another conversation for another day. But we're not there yet.
Tomorrow.
Let me not stir the honest nest.
Tomorrow. So I'm saying that that cushioning effect that you see
won't happen.
Scale it down. No. I say some of it will happen.
Yes.
But scale it down by 35, down to 35%.
But that then is infinitesimal. Really, I mean,
it's not infinitesimal.
Yeah,
but it is not.
No, I'm talking about the comparisons that you're making.
Yes, because
I mean, would there be a drop in the ocean? Okay.
But it is, and that's why I quoted oil, because you see, our biggest bet would have been, the cushioning would have come from gold.
Yes.
But gold is suffering.
Yes, prices are going down.
Prices are going down. Now, when you take these two effects, gold and oil, oil.
You're not even mentioning of cocoa is another matter.
Cocoa aside. Yes, gold and oil now, up to 70% of all our exports.
You're saying that it doesn't matter how you look at it, but we're in a dire strait.
We're in a difficult place.
In a difficult place.
Especially if this continues for another 60 days. And worst case, 90 days and more.
It will throw all the macro.
Everything will be at risk. All the wonderful things that our discipline has done for us there'll be a risk. I'm not surprised that the president is calling for an emergency meeting of cabinet. This is an external risk that came from the left. You remember? What did I say to you when we started? The lizard goes to eat pepper, and the frog sitting in his corner is sweating. We are sweating.
Have you heard this argument? I've forgotten exactly who made this argument, but the person was saying that, look, so when you look at the factors that go into pricing fuel, what we call the, how do you call it, the standard pricing formula, right? So you have the price of the commodity, you have taxes, and then you have FX. What we don't have control over is how much the price is the price of the commodity with the price of fuel, because we don't set it. But we have control over the taxes, and we have control over the FX to a very large extent.
Okay.
Quite clearly from what you're saying, where we need to look at will be the taxes, because as for the FX, as you said, and I think that everybody else would bear testimony to, it's been largely managed well. Now, if we have to look at the taxes, so you were talking fiscals, what it also means is that would have an impact on revenue in terms of how much money the government it intends to generate. And I make the counter argument that, yeah, but even if we have to lose money because we have to take 1 or 2 taxes out, you talked about the D levy no, you didn't, but let's talk about D levy, right? And then we can look at the D levy, which is 1 cedi on every petroleum, that we buy, a liter of petrol that we buy. Some are suggesting to take it off. That would have an impact on revenue. But you're saying that based on our current circumstances, we cannot afford to lose revenue. That's what you're saying. We cannot afford to lose revenue.
Let's take it step by step.
Yes.
There was a debt sitting in the energy sector. That's why we applied the 1 cedi.
True.
If you take the 1 cedi, it means that debt is not going to be, the hole is not going to be filled.
True.
Good. We need, even as we sit, there's a school of thought that we are not paying enough of our bills.
Yes.
Right? And there's a number of things that we promised to do for the public to grow, to fix our roads, to do all the things that we have to do. If you remove the revenue, we can't do them. Yes, it's that simple. If you take away that revenue, the government's purse is one purse. It is revenue against expenditure, isn't it?
True.
So if you reduce the revenue, and remember, already last year we didn't exactly meet our revenue targets.
That's true.
Then this year you're saying intentionally take some of the items off the table. We are telling the government, earn less money. If you're saying that earn less money, I will come back to, if you tell me earn less money, I'll turn to my family and say, someone say, Yatimi pays. So expect less. That's number one. Number two, which is even more worrying, is this. All this will put pressure on the CD. Why? Fuel products are going up. Fuel is the price of fuel products in dollar terms has gone up. Fuel products are our single biggest import. If the price goes up, it means we are going to need more dollars to keep this economy running. So there's going to be pressure on the CD. To make it worse, because of higher import costs, because of shortages, a lot of other things are also going to need more dollars to go on. Either we empty the coffers of our reserves and throw it at it, or we accept a slightly higher CD to dollar value because of external effects. Any which way, it's not good for us. Remember that when if the dollar starts to appreciate, whether we like it or not, that means our external debt values are going up. If the dollar starts to appreciate, the knock-on effect on all the imports that we have are going to go up. So the dollar effect on inflation is high. I would dare say that one of the biggest reasons why inflation has come down, one of them is the fact that we kept the CD to dollar rate low. In fact, the CD appreciated, so we all got the benefit of it. The other second reason was that we had a bumper harvest, so food prices came down. In fact, some of us will even dare say that they came down too low and the farmers have stocks that they can't sell. But we are entering a new farming season.
Is there a big...
So you see how all the things that we are going to rely on, but we will export more oil at a higher price. I've just shown you that exporting more oil at a higher price, so long as you're only retaining 35%, ain't going to help you as much as you think it would. But gold will help us, because when there's turmoil in the world, gold prices appreciate. Well, gold prices aren't appreciating because the biggest buyers of gold are the Gulf states, and they themselves have been hit so badly by this war that they are actually emptying some of the gold from their reserves to shore up their economies. Because some of them are not exporting any oil and haven't exported any oil in the last 60 days plus. then you start to talk about the knock-on effect of inflation on our food. And remember, in the early part, I explained that food, whether local or imported, will be affected. So you see that we are between a rock and a hard place. And if we lose that discipline, all of a sudden, our ratings that are looking good, everything that is looking good, could go south.
Is there a basis to compare what we're currently experiencing, what could potentially be experiencing, worst form of it, as you said, in the next, say, 2 months? If this, because this has been raging on for almost a month and a bit.
Half, yeah.
So we're looking at the next 1.5 months. That's how much time we have.
Actually, 2 months.
2 months, yeah. Is there a basis for comparing what we're experiencing today to what we experienced in the past? Russia, Ukraine war, COVID, and its concomitant effect on food prices at a time when the government had to explain that the reason why we're facing economic hardship was because of these twin external factors. Sorry if I'm dragging you into this, because it's become some kind of a political chess game of political football between the two major political parties.
Problem.
But I'd like to take your view on this.
I have a view on this.
And that for some people, in fact, there are two schools of thought. Some say that the bases are totally unfounded. But those who say there are there's basis to compare the two, are also saying that this, for them, must teach us a lesson that we must begin to look within, and that we cannot continue to look or to depend on what happens without. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what we're doing here. The little, some kind of a chaos out, externally or exogenously, and then we're in trouble. Where do you stand? Okay. Are we back to the COVID, Russia-Ukraine war era again?
Two things.
Okay.
To the extent that this is an external crisis,
okay,
that we didn't really, we had no control over, all those three things can be looked at. Ukraine war, less. COVID, a lot more. And this is a really bad crisis. Remember that worldwide, rates of growth of economies have all been scaled down significantly worldwide because of this, not just in Ghana, but China, of course, the US, everywhere, because the knock-on effects of this can be dire. And the problem is that even if the war ceases today, it will take time to repair what has been destroyed. So that's right. The one thing that gives me hope, and that's what I urge caution, is the discipline that has been shown by the government in power. And that discipline, if it is kept at, means that even though we have a problem, right, the discipline and telling us the truth, that because of this, if I take off the 1 CD, you can't do this, so you can't do this, so. If they combine the discipline with telling us the truth and the full truth as to why we are in this situation, then we are much better placed to come out of this challenge stronger.
Okay.
You understand?
I get it.
One of the things that hurt us in 2022 and its time was a denial of how bad the underlying factors were. Remember that there was even a debate as to whether should we go to the IMF or not, all through 2021, when we could see things were bad. And we said, no, we won't go for help.
Yeah, because the finance minister at the time, based on the data that was before him, didn't think that it would be necessary.
Oh, I disagree.
For us
I disagree
the
then, and I disagree now. You would remember that early in 2022, my own colleague, Mr. Thompson, knelt down on another station to beg the president that we are heading for disaster.
I agree.
Yes.
I recall.
Some of us could see it, It was clearly written that we were heading for the disaster. That
Oh, true. Actually, you you called you and Ken Thompson at the time.
Yes.
You had asked the president to go to the IMF.
Yes.
Because you were seized with sufficient information.
Yes.
To inform.
And our information didn't come from Mars. It came from Bank of Ghana
and the Finance Ministry
and their reports.
Wow.
So I'm saying that
maybe the finance minister at the time interpreted those data differently.
No, listen, it was a different era, and we've moved on.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this time there's a lot more discipline. Just maybe this time there'll be less denial about our effect. The one joker we have to realize that let nobody play partisan politics with the situation we are in.
But it's already started.
Let that not happen. Because you see, when I'm in trouble, we are in trouble as Ghanaians. The price of fuel, why? Is it, does it, when you go to the pump, do you ask MPP 14 cedis? No, MPP 17 cedis. MPP, NDC 14 cedis. Is that what happens at the pump?
Not at all.
All of us are in the soup. You see, and the bane of our economic management has a lot of times been the partisan politics that is played. For once, can we say this? We are sweating because we did not because we did anything wrong. We have exercised discipline. Our things have improving. Think about it. Just last week, we went even to the local bond market and secured a 2.7 million 7-year bond. It means confidence is slowly getting restored in government finances. But we are sweating now. I'm just saying, let's not play politics with it. Because what is coming is not funny. Remember, in 1974, in that oil shock, some will tell you that is what eventually derailed a Champon's regime. And we saw what happened to us in 1979 when we didn't have enough money to buy oil. Oil and fuel drives this economy. Some of us will even argue that the NDC lost the 2016 election because of Doomsaw. Right. Energy is a big deal. So we should be worried. At the same time, don't let's lose our discipline. That's the only thing that will bring us out of this episode stronger.
There are some who have suggested that, for instance, that why don't we domesticate the oil that we produce here in our country, i.e., make use of the oil that we produce? Whatever it is that we explore here, whatever it is that we get, use it so that we can determine for ourselves how much we want to sell it, rather than depending on imported products.
Now, first of all, do we have the capacity to refine in the quantities and which we need?
We have Centio, we have Tor.
Those
combined would do about 60%. There's still some 40%.
And remember, even we still import far. We are net importers of energy.
True.
So even if we did that, and remember, in all this, we have to compensate those who have brought their money in to pull it out.
We're going to buy. Well, I agree with you. So that if oil is selling $100, and you say, "Well, I'm drilling oil in your country, Ghana, so yeah, I'm prepared to buy it at $60." No,
you can't
do that. Yeah, you can't do that. Me, I'm selling my things $100,
and I brought my money to come and drill.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Yeah. Sounds like an absurd proposition, isn't it?
It's not absurd because we should have done a JV. Right. Listen, there was once when I was hit by such powerful local logic. I'm at a radio station, local language, and it's a forum, so there are other people there who are not, and we're having a forum, and I'm talking about the same issue of only retaining so little of our oil export value. And then one fairly unsophisticated person gets up and you know the question they ask me? Right. They say, Mr. Jackson, in the grand old days with my grandfather, when you come for his land to farm, or whatever you want to do with, that they do ebunu or ebusa. You know what ebunu is?
What's that?
Ebunu is we share the produce
Okay.
into two. You give me half and you take half. So you give me the produce. You don't pay me rent. You don't pay me royalties. That's a JV. And sometimes we do ebusa. You give me 1/3 and you take 2/3 if the value you are delivering is high enough. Why is it that our oil is not ebunu or ebusa?
It's a very interesting question.
It's a very interesting question. And I'll even extend it. Why is lithium not ebunu or ebusa?
That's another conversation for another day. But in all of this, Mr. Joe Jackson, there are two quick issues that I want to bring to your attention before you take leave of us. Now, in all of this, you recall that about 2 weeks ago, because you talked about how the revenues will be impacted if we touch any of the levies or taxes or whatever it is in the petroleum price build-up. You recall the finance minister telling all of us that when you pay what we call that, when you engage in the statutory payments of government obligations. So let's say you generate whatever it is that we generate by way of revenue, and here I'm talking non-tax. There's a portion that goes into paying emoluments and salaries. What we call the rigidities. You can't do anything about them. You also have to service your debt. And also second, you have to pay statutory payments like debt fund and so on and so forth.
You have to pay debt fund, you have to pay the ADFA.
Now, the finance minister tells us that there are serious or severe fiscal constraints facing the country. Now, he says that out of the total tax revenue, so I talked about non-tax, so it's actually total tax, not non-tax.
Yeah.
Tax revenue of some 183 billion in 2025. The statutory obligations, including transfers to DACF, Get Fund, NHIL, and also debt servicing, consumes, out of the 183, consumes 122.1 billion cedis. That leaves us with some 61.9 billion to spend on all other things, including capex.
Roads.
Now, do you have the combined burden of wages, debt servicing, and statutory transfers exceeding total tax revenue, effectively crowding out other critical expenditures?
Good.
He says the current fiscal conditions, the government lacks the financial space to adequately invest in essential infrastructures such as schools, hospitals, and roads. Now, but here we are, we still have to take some decisions because the Middle East crisis has not ended, and analysts are speculating or are actually saying, or in fact are projecting, that this will take a bit of time. What do we do? You know our situation already.
Yes, so we man up to the public.
Okay.
The roads, those that are being built with our own money.
We can't build them anymore.
We can't build them anymore. We'll have to prioritize. Those of us who have arrears, we may not be able to pay you as well as we have, even if you are not happy with it, because our revenues will drop. I'm just saying that, you see, it's not for nothing that you have a wallet. I have a wallet.
Yes.
This is the money in my wallet.
Yes. Well, okay.
Don't disgrace me on TV.
No, I just want to be sure if it's a wallet.
It's a wallet.
It's a wallet.
Okay,
yes.
It's a wallet.
Yes.
I keep Momo. This is my wallet.
Yeah, but what business you have? You're keeping foreign currencies. I don't know why you're keeping.
No, there are no foreign currencies. They are all cedis. But I have 20 cedis in my wallet. Now, if you take out 5 cedis, there's only 15 cedis left. And I can only do 15 cedis with what is in my wallet, period.
Well, I can keep it for you.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
I'm just saying it's the same purse. There's nothing different. And so we got to understand that it's easy for the transporters, etc., to scream and shout. But we've got to balance what we need, what we must do. And I'm saying that rather than Moro, listen to this very carefully.
Yeah.
Rather than just blanket remove some of the taxes, let's give targeted relief to the most vulnerable persons. And let us start to feel the full effects of new transport costs so that we'll take the right economic decisions. Just maybe sometimes some of us should not start a car and move it because, and you see, when you take it, we shouldn't cushion that effect.
Okay.
Sometimes we should cut down on some activities because they do burn too much oil. And the only way to do that is let us feel it in our pockets and give those who are vulnerable targeted relief.
So, Professor Lee Nachia.
Yes, a good friend of mine.
Yes, he says, another super discussion ongoing with my boss, CEO Jackson, always breaking down complex economic issues for the understanding of all. Super arguments and basics, straight to the point and bare fact. Bothers on prudent economic management of it, the circumstances we find ourselves in. When I argued that Ghana is a net importer of oil, I was bastardized, and now here we are, chai. If we had restructured to process our crude by revamping toll, resourcing bust to build stock buffers of oil, I am sure we could have withstood the current conflict a little longer, if not forever. Kudos to CEO Joe Jackson, always on point. Professor Lee Nacha is watching you. Now, Makojo Boafo, who is a regular viewer of Good Morning Ghana from the United States, he's been watching the show for the past 25 years since Good Morning started. He's never missed it. Yes, regular. He's very loyal to the show. He says, on Hormuz, the U.S. president has threatened to attack power plants and bridges tomorrow. Yes, there's a 48-hour...
Will expire tonight.
Will expire tonight, yes. He says that the U.S. president has threatened to attack power plants and bridges tomorrow if the strait is not opened for vessels. The Iranians are not budging. They said it will not open for a temporal ceasefire. Crude oil as of now is $110.68. We should brace ourselves for fuel hikes as insurance premiums for ships in the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, jumped from around 0.2% of ship value to 3%, a 12-fold increase. We are in a difficult times, my brother. Taxes on fuel cannot go down any further. Remember that we have the big push agenda to develop Ghana. Please tell Mr. Jackson that discipline is spending by the government will continue, but money is fungible and will be pushed to wherever it needs to go in crisis times. This is where it will throw things out of gear. That's Mark Kojo Boafo. Now,
I do agree with him.
Yes.
It will throw things out of gear, and we've got to understand that.
Right. And Peter T from Shukura says that the minority leader must be able to tell Ghanaians the quality of leadership he demonstrates to justify his inclusion as one of the best as compared to his own predecessor, Osai Chairman Sabonsu. Because his own party people are beginning to lose interest in his leadership. And he says, it takes, Peter T. Okay, so he says that Peter T, sorry, I'm just seeing your messages. I didn't see that earlier. But he continues to say we should not allow activities that are not in conformity with our cultural values affect our traditional values. That's why I agree with Joe Jackson that we need to establish authenticity in our actions as Ghanaians instead of politicians diverting attention of Ghanaians from major issues of our problems. We are the problem and need to resolve it with collective approach. Peter T, my apologies. I've just seen your message. Thank you very much for sending me this message. Now, this one here, Prince Henry from Koforidua says, please ask, you wanted me to ask, minority leader some questions. Yes. Okay. Quite a number of questions for Apenyo Marking, but unfortunately he's not with us any, so I'm not sure if it will still be right for me to ask. It will still make sense for me to ask because he's not here. Anyway, Big J, yes. So it doesn't look good, and it looks like some tough decisions would have to be taken. But you're saying that the most important thing is to come clean with Ghanaians and let them know what the facts are.
And the discipline.
But the discipline has been ongoing for a while now, isn't it?
Yes, it must be maintained.
It must be maintained.
It shouldn't be thrown out simply because there's an external shock.
Anyway, Big J, I want to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. I've enjoyed talking to you today.
Yeah.
Although today my message is not as uplifting as should be on. But before we go, listen, we always have hope.
Yeah.
And we should continue to have hope.
Yeah.
And the message of Easter is, for me, is forgiveness.
Yes.
But above all, hope.
Yes.
For better things ahead.
Yes. In fact, it is in that spirit that he forgave us when they were supposed to be at 8:30. We brought him in at 9:40. He's forgiven us in the spirit of Easter. And we truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Big J, as we affectionately call him, thank you so very much. It's been nice talking. In fact, there are quite a number of other issues that we could have talked about, but time is not our best friend, and so we have to let it go. I've seen some articles that have been published by Northern Reports. You know, I'm one of his recipients, and you've raised some issues about even the bond market and so on, but that's another conversation.
That's another conversation for another day.
Very interesting article. I read it yesterday. And so thank you once again, and happy Easter.
Thank you.
I also want to say happy Easter to the production team led by the man Bright. Bright, fantastic guy. Thank you very much for leading the team and spearheading the production of the show, and also the rest of the crew. There's quite a number of them. I can't mention everybody's name. You mentioned one, you mentioned the other, and I'm in trouble. But all of you, you know yourselves. Congrats, and kudos to all of you for for your hard work for today. And so, it's a Monday. Please, whatever it is that you're doing, exercise restraint and modesty and moderation, we beg you, because we need you alive for tomorrow. The human capital of every organization, which includes Ghana. If you want to look at Ghana as an organization with the chief executive officer being the president, the human capital is the most important. So please, I know some of you want to drink, but drink small, so that you can go back to work tomorrow or go back to your business tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching Good Morning Ghana. We appreciate you. Happy Easter once again. Bye-bye.